All right, everybody. Adventure 3. Here we go. So, when we last left you guys, you had finally finished clearing out the lucky bones of all hostile entities in there, be they undead, be they animalistic, or be they infernal. With pretty much the entire month of Serenith have gone by with you guys sitting on your laurels and managing the rebellion for several weeks as you waited for the magical scrolls you needed to get the drowning devil Shershagat out of the basement of your new hideout. You acquire the scroll of anti-magic field and dismissal, and then it was time to see if those would work or not. So you went down there, you rolled your bones, and, well, it worked. Everything went off as planned. Shershagat was able to get out of his binding, and as Kyra was busy dismissing him back to hell, I rolled for it, he went back to hell. His last words to you were, there's a treasure stash, it's yours as thanks. And now that that's happened, you guys had also spent the intervening weeks cleaning the lucky bones, getting the pumps were all fixed, so the lucky bones are relatively dry in all the areas that aren't flooded anymore. It's still moist down there, but you've spent the few weeks moving your operation from the wasp nest under the Long Roads Coffee House down into the basement levels of the lucky bones. And this is where we pick up with you guys. Basically, the housewarming party has been finished as you guys have moved in and cleaned everything up. So now what?
I want to find Vendelfek and see where he put his new stash, where he put the stash of shit.
Vendelfek decided to hold up in one of the 2 rooms that you guys found just past the torrent seal, where you found the old rotted hookahs.
Cool, I'm going to go ahead and say hey to Vendelfek.
Hi there.
Oh, took that literally. Okay. Hey, what's up? Good to see you, man.
Hi. I know you've been busy lately.
Yeah, you like your big pile of shit?
It's getting bigger.
I know. Keep on keeping on, man. And I go back to the...
Is it okay if I have this room to myself?
Sure.
Cool!
Oh, and we meant to... we have to pay patronage to our dear friend, and I want to pull out 5 of the 25 pearls that we have.
Okay.
And hand them to him for his stash.
He takes them 2 at a time with his tiny little hands, adds them to the stash, and then happily flies around your head a couple times. Thank you. They look nice.
Flickie, did you see that? It was adorable with his little paws.
Here, take
Doesn't he kind of look like a butterfly dragon? Isn't that his whole vibe?
Yeah, he's a dragon with butterfly wings.
Yeah, I'm just imagining Toothless with, like, colorful wings.
Hell yeah.
That is probably one of the most adorable things I've ever seen in my life.
I try.
I look at the guys and I say, hey, when he's holding those pearls, it looks like he's got boobs.
Moving on.
Hey, Vendelfek, will you just turn around real quick? And can you just hula for a second? It'll be a funny prank.
Can do what?
Just with the pearls, will you just do a little hula dance for us, Vendelfek?
This is getting weird.
I'll see what I can do. Hold on. Wow! If you want a little piece of chunky meat, you could be a big pig too. Oh!
Oh,
So the Lion King is canon in this universe.
You are a gem.
Technically, it would be the Lion Emperor, the first Emperor of Taldor, Emperor Taldaris. But yeah,
Wait, there was a lion named Taldor?
there's a nation named Taldor. As a matter of fact, the common tongue is actually Taldane in this world.
Oh.
And first Emperor Taldaris is pretty much like George Washington and Romulus rolled into one, as far as like he's the man kind of mentality.
Okay.
Yeah. Taldor was very like England, where they decided to conquer most of the world and then kind of back off and let people do their own thing, but their language kind of took root.
Hmm.
Well, shit, what should we do?
Do we... Sorry, I'm trying to remember the name again. Like Dillon said, it's been a while.
Feel free to ask, I'm here.
Tib'resh
Hedman-
spends his morning doing push-ups with one hand while trying to hold his breath.
Wow, I'll have some of what he's smoking.
Luke, when did we find the cloak, the bone cloak?
The robe of powerlessness, you found that
Yes.
when you were going through the vault.
Okay, solid. I want to try to talk to Hedman.
All right.
About this.
All right. At this point, he's probably, he's finished working on the pumps weeks ago, so he's back to his business as usual at the Devil's Threads.
Okay, I'm gonna head to the Devil's Threads. Anybody want to come along?
Sure. We'll see where things go from here.
And Tib'resh is just doing push-ups.
Yeah, I'll stay behind
All
during
right.
the workout.
Icar, are you with the party or are you at the family house?
No, Icar's here at the Lucky Bones, but he's going to continue bothering Rexus, half bothering, half assisting him until they have some idea of what they're going to build on top of the hideout.
So you guys are at the drafting table and blueprinting.
Yes.
What were the 3 ideas again?
A restaurant for Milo's, a cabaret theater, or the new ice cream development method that the Alabaster Academy students had made by binding ice elementals into flat slabs of stone.
Remember, we know Milo likes his cart
Yeah, I was gonna-
existence, so it might be hard for him to
Dude,
adapt.
Milo is literally the old ramen guy from Naruto.
Yeah. Like, I'm remembering that conversation we had with him about setting up a shop, and he's like, no, it's about the cart and the wafting and the breathing and the smelling it.
And the fact he doesn't have to pay property tax.
So, yeah, I want to just say I'm strongly in support of a combo of those last 2 ideas.
Dude,
I
I'm
think cream
meat
shop,
eater.
cabaret hall, and occasionally when business is booming, we bring Milo in to make it one night only. Get your meat from the meat beatery, ice cream cabaret hall.
We don't have to name it something that intentionally is antagonizingly
cabaret
sexual.
hall. Tib'resh, listen, I understand monks don't understand a lot of the tongue-in-cheek nature of these kinds of establishments, but a cabaret hall requires a certain je ne sais quoi.
I don't understand why someone would want a tongue in their cheek. I mean, other than their own tongue. Certainly
One
not
day-
another one.
Have you,
One day
have you
you'll
ever
find
had
out.
another person's tongue in your cheek before, Tib'resh?
I have had some experience with various
Tugging?
paramours. It's not. It's hard to dedicate yourself to something when you've already had a set of tenets to live your life by. I'm not
Are
tied
you sense
down
motive to
easily.
see if he's bullshitting about his love life?
Yeah.
Are you bullshitting about
How
your
many
love
how
life?
many notches on Tibresh's actual belt?
What do I have to meet for that? Sorry, what is?
Well,
that?
here's the question:
Bluff,
Are
I
you
guess?
are you lying or are you telling the truth?
I mean, Tib'resh in his past. Has,
How about this? It's diplomacy if you're telling the truth, and bluff if you're lying.
Oh man, there's a middle ground that I'm treading here. Tib'resh has absolutely no bluff, so let's just. Yep.
Okay, so what's the notch count? What's your kill count, Tiger?
There was one person.
Pull a D4.
It wasn't anything physical. It was a lot more.
Her name was Sandy
Spiritual.
Palm.
I understand spiritual sexual encounters, good buddy, and I wanna pat him on the cheek and just run down the tusk on the way out the door to Adamant's.
She's,
4 minus 3 for sex partners.
One of the team members who's now milling around overhears this conversation, and then just kind of says to Tib'resh as Sugtok is heading off with Flickie, have you tried checking out the Church of Calistria? Somewhere else, because they go hand in hand there. Sexual healing's it's a part of the thing.
Hey, back to work.
Did I hear it? I'm like I was actively leaving to go to heaven.
Yeah, you were actively leaving, so this is just him like hey, you know what? Yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, kind of thing to Tib'resh. So no, you didn't.
Tib'resh makes a very quick and very small, sub note in his personal journal.
Clerics of Calistria, also sacred prostitutes.
Must restore my yang by releasing my yin.
Anyway, so Sugtok and Flickie are heading over to the Devil's Threads?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
It's a mostly uneventful trip over there to the Devil's Threads. However, as you guys are walking through the town criers are out again. Hear ye, hear ye. By order of Lord Mayor Barzillai Throne, the Bleak Bridge toll has been increased yet again. The toll to get across Bleak Bridge is now 2 gold pieces a person. An all-day pass may be purchased for 10 gold. Hear ye, and repeats as he walks on.
Jesus.
Did
Smoke the whole.
I heard of a theme park that employed similar tactics.
By the way, the town criers are getting their daily exercise in dodging rotten vegetables being thrown at them after hearing this proclamation. Because you guys at this point are relatively flush with cash, but you know from experience that, you know...
A lot of people aren't.
10 gold is more than a day's wages.
It's 2 gold one way, 10 gold for a whole day pass.
All right. Where are we in town? We're at the Lucky Bones.
You are passing from the Lucky Bones to the Devil's Threads. Somewhere along your travels, you heard the town criers.
Okay.
I try and chuck a tomato at him.
Make me an attack roll. Dexterity. Plus your base attack bonus.
Grab my dice tower real quick.
Can I roll to help him because he's not used to physical assaults? Like,
if you want to use the aid another action, you can add a +2 to his roll.
So you said do my dexterity plus
Your base attack bonus, which I think is +3 at this level.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, Groovy, I'll do that. Let's see. All right, match together. 17 plus 6. 23.
Yep. You there's a satisfying as a tomato splats into the back of this guy's head.
Tight.
All right.
well done, mate.
Hey, man, I'm a wizard.
I suppose that today would be Sunday, the 29th of Serenith, Tib'resh.
All right.
There's nothing else notable until you reach Red Roof Market, because that's where the threads are.
Whereabouts is Milo's?
He's in Red Roof Market somewhere.
Okay, I also want to be on the sniff out for Milo's stand.
He's there. It's hard to miss. He's got a very unique set of spices used in his kebabs.
Am I going to hit him or
Stable
Hedemans first?
Hedemans.
Well, I'm going to grab a kebab on the way. So.
Hedemans store is one of the buildings on the surrounding the Red Roof Market Square.
Okay, then yeah. Census takeover, straight to Milo's.
All right. Hello,
Milo.
Hello, Sugtok.
Morning, brother. How are you?
Well, I was great until I heard the criers a few minutes ago.
Yeah. How many times a day do you have to cross that bridge, Milo?
Really, only 2. Get here and then get home.
Okay. How much gold are you bringing in every day? It's us, we're friends.
I'm still going to be making a profit with this new hike, but it's not going to be nearly as much as it used to be.
Do you mind? I mean,
Well,
I feel like you're a friend now. What do your profits go to, Milo? What do you spend your money on?
I spend them on the family.
How many again?
Well, I've got the wife, and I've got 3 kids, 2 twins, boys, and a daughter.
I'm gonna hard swallow and reach into my personal finances, grabbing 14 platinum.
Jesus, dude.
And I'm going to palm them to Milo. Like, I don't want everybody seeing this. I don't want anybody to notice.
Make me a sleight of
But
hand
I want to
check.
hand him this. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Nice, natural 20. Yeah,
And just say,
there's nary a tink of coin as it passes into his palm, and he looks at it and he goes like, I think there's a mistake, man. This isn't silver.
you are the most important business in this city.
Holy crap.
You take care of yourself. You be careful. You
Alright.
help the other people around here who need it, like
Alright.
you have been.
I'm gonna be doing what I can, but until
So you just gave this man 1,400 gold?
until 140 gold.
Yeah.
Until
140, okay.
until such time though, the prices on the kebabs are gonna be going up a little bit just to offset things. It's a sad state. But
I
I'm
understand.
still happy to let you have your pick of the litter. But it's pretty much just going to be one. It's going to be a silver for the standard ones and 3 for the high end ones, like the seafood ones.
You know, I've been needing to diet anyways, but I'm gonna take 2 of those seafoods for now. And Flickie, what did you want?
2 of the seafoods as well.
All right,
So we'll just 4 of the seafoods for today.
alrighty then. Good thing reef claws are so big. Here you go. He gives you 4 kebabs.
Cheers, Milo.
Cheers, Sugtok,
Sick.
and thank
You
you.
let me know if you hear anything. Give him a knowing nod.
I'll do what I can. Have a good day.
All right, now I want to head to Hedemans.
All right.
Flickie, do you think we should do anything to help Milo?
You just gave him 14 platinum. Not
You
that I would
don't
know
know
that 'cause
that.
I didn't see you do it, but
Well, make me a
I mean,
Dylan, make me a perception check, just in case.
Jeez. Okay, let me try. Perception. Do I have any fucking bonus? Yes,
I love that
Plus
skill
6.
checks aren't auto passes.
Yeah, I know, but still.
No,
Damn.
like I like that
19.
for that reason.
Yeah, 19? No, you didn't see it. Although it's still funny to botch in a skill check and, try to go for an air pump and trip and fall flat on your face while you're looking for training dummies, isn't it, Tib'resh?
Yeah. It made me so happy.
Well, shit.
Well, like,
Let's-
do you
let's
feel like
roll.
this is gonna fuck with his business at all?
Nah.
If
It'll
anything,
be fine.
if anything, you've just given him a hefty nest egg to fall back on.
That was the goal. I love Milo. But all right, so Hedemans.
I mean, shit. We're gonna put that dude's kids through college with the amount of fucking meat we eat.
Anyway, yes, Hedeman is there at the Threads. He's busy helping a halfling customer right now, who's apparently here for some leggings, because not exactly the shoe type of people, because big, gigantic, hairy feet. Yes, but they do take good care of their gams. And he's busy getting some breeches fitted. Hedeman's busy taking measurements, and he sees you come in. He's like, "Ah, yes. Please come in. I'll be with you in just a few minutes."
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
All
I
right.
finish my kebabs and throw the sticks in the trash.
All right.
Anything special about the halfling other than being a halfling in a clothing store?
Now he looks like, based on his clothing, you would assume that he lives either in Jarvis End or Red Roof. He's a bit too upscale for Old Kintargo, but not upscale enough for anywhere in the northern part of the city.
Okay. So yeah, I'll leave him to his business until he calls.
All
us.
right. If you don't have anything specific to do, it takes him about 4 minutes to finish taking his measurements and the chalk markings for the halfling, and then tells him to come back in a couple of days, and he'll have something ready for him. It's like, oh, thank you, Hedeman. Off you go. Well, off you go, sir. Thank you. Heads off. Is like, good day to you. Just to you guys as he passes you on the way out,
Hello there, sir.
and he is out the door. It's like, now, how can I help you?
All right, and I want to look around. Is anybody else in here?
No, it's just you three.
All right.
Don't worry. There's no one else. There's no one else. You can speak plainly in here.
All right, so do you have any kind of working relationship, or is Barzillai Thrun aware of you, and does he dislike you?
I live in Kintargo. People aren't exactly open towards the tieflings here. I mean, I won't exactly say I'm on anybody's radar. The only... Oh, shut up, Tim. The only tiefling that's really
what I thought too.
on anybody's radar would be Straya Vestori, but she's still been missing for months now.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? I was reading Tim's thing.
Oh, yeah. That, he's just a tailor as far as the rest of the city is concerned, so nobody really pays him mind. The only tiefling that raises enough of a stink to be known by people higher up is Straya Vestori, because she runs the Cloven Hoof Society, or at least she did until she disappeared.
Okay. Well, I suppose we have different ways, as we were recognized as heroes recently by Thrun. We found an item that it's disguised as a cloak of bows.
Oh.
But it is a cursed cloak.
Oh.
I was wondering if, as a man with such talents as your own, who works with clothing, do you have any way to enhance the disguise to make it harder to detect that it is a cursed item underneath, so we may present it as a gift at some point?
May I see it?
Certainly, and I'll pull the cloak out of the bag of holding.
Okay. He holds out his hand to take it. It's a robe, actually.
Yeah, the robe of powerlessness. Sorry.
Okay. He's like, all right, and Hedeman.
Don't put it on, though.
Yeah. What manner of curse is this?
It's a curse of powerlessness.
He drops it and takes a step back, like instinctually. Nah.
Well, listen, if you don't put it on, you'll be fine. But if he put it on, he sure wouldn't.
Sorry, I've just heard tales in my time, and what this is capable of doing to anybody with my magical talents is frightening.
Because what does that curse do again? We know, right?
If you wear the robe, either willingly or otherwise, you take a permanent -10 to your strength and -10 to your intelligence, or if you're a spellcaster, to whatever ability score your spellcasting is based off of.
Wait, you said permanent?
Unless it's healed by a heal
Like
spell
while you
and
have
a
it on, or...
No, when you take it off, you're still cursed. It takes a heal spell followed by remove curse to undo it.
More importantly, he said willingly or not, so if we becloaked someone with it, we would automatically apply a curse to them.
Ooh.
It's
Not
a robe,
that-
right?
Robe.
Yes.
How? So, tell me,
Oh,
what-
we'd have to put someone in clothes, which would be more difficult than just swinging, I think, a cloak over their shoulders.
how-
We would have to put it over
For the
their-
record,
how
Tim,
much do they have to
Tib'resh isn't here.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
How much do they have to wear this robe to,
Arms.
is this like a bathrobe?
It's-
Define
it-
robe.
Since it's disguised as a robe of bones, necromancer robes. So pretty much just as long as it's in, arms through the sleeves, like that. So pretty much, yeah, a long bathrobe. But with, like, skeletons stitched into it in various places to sell the disguise.
Do you think, is there a way to disguise this as something that would particularly appeal to him, or is there a way to enhance the disguise?
I'm not certain about enhancing disguises, but simple illusion magic could perhaps do that. It's just a matter of whether or not your intended victim seems to see through it.
All right.
But no matter what, it's not the sort of thing I would prefer to handle myself, just for the risks of what it is. If anything, I recognize the utility of such a thing in a sneaky situation, but it's the sort of thing that I would rather you take to a temple and have them dispose of. Personal opinion.
Noted. Good advice. Thank you.
Yes. And speaking of advice, I'm actually glad that some of you stopped by, because I wanted to mention something to you.
Go on.
One of my friends here in town wishes to speak with the Silver Ravens, and I believe that they want to speak with all of the Silver Ravens. So I was hoping to ask you about the idea of perhaps getting a meeting together, of you and your top allies on a semi-regular basis going forward, now that you have a hideout and alliances across different factions within the city. A council, if you will.
I'm gonna look at Flickie and go.
I look back and I'm like, yes.
I believe we have a few allies that would do well on a council.
Interesting. Yes. Should we have now? My friend doesn't exactly have any immediate urgency with this. It does not have to be today or tomorrow, but perhaps the earliest convenient time for you, which, out of character, this is Luke saying, we could fold this into your weekly rebellion action stuff.
Yeah, and when's the next rebellion action?
It's Sunday now, so you're going to have to go through an entire week.
Perfect. So yeah, we'll tell them we'll aim for
Star Day. Wonderful. At the Lucky Bones, is it going to be the level where I was working on the pumps, or the gambling hall above it?
We'll say the gambling hall.
Wonderful.
We have accessible pumps now,
All right.
I think.
I will make sure to let them know. That being said, is there anything else I can help you with in a more professional capacity while you're here?
Yes. The last time I was here, I had asked you
The
about
masks.
a mask
The masks,
of a
yes.
certain pattern.
I have been working on something like that, and now you said a pattern, but I think I would like a basic, shall we call it a prototype of, and he basically pulls out like an El Santo mask, where it's basically just like gray fabric with cutouts for the eyes and the mouth and a little bit of stretch around the neck and tied up the back. Is this sort of what you had in mind? It's completely like there's no design on it at all. It's just the base model.
Stylistically, yes, but here, and I want to take the mask from him
Okay.
and pull a quill and draw out the design of Strong Bad onto it.
Of course.
I saw a girl with a Homestar Runner sticker on her car at the gas station the other day. I was like, whoa, in
It's-
the wild?
It's still alive. Get it, you?
What the fuck?
Checking
What
my
do I need to
email.
roll?
Checking my email. Checking my email. Roll me straight dexterity.
20 plus, I think that's +3. 10.
It's good enough. It's a little awkward because you got your hand inside and you're tracing on it like that, but you get the basic idea out there. And I assume that with this design,
And-
you also say colors here, like the blue gem here, the white accents here, mostly red.
I will draw the first letter of the color in each of the spots and say it's a paint by number, and you are a master.
And I'll see what I can do.
How long do you think this will take?
You know what? I'll bring it to the meeting.
Fantastic. look
I
forward
can't
to it.
promise it'll be the final product, but it will be what I have by that point.
All right.
Now, is there anything specific you want it to do, or do you wish it to be merely decorative?
Oh wait, you can make it do stuff?
Theoretically, I could give it a minor enchantment, but I would have to charge you the equivalent amount to enchant things.
Let me think about that.
Which
just a little
basically means that Luke would look through the list of like head slot magic items and see what he could throw together.
Hell yeah! Let me know. Yeah, an enchantment
Because remember,
sounds good,
he was able to fix the pipes. Hedman does have craft wondrous item.
Let me know what you can do, and we'll work something out.
I'll see. I'll bring the design to you this, and we can discuss other things going forward. Once we get this all sorted out, I'm sure I'll be able to do it much faster. Now, is there anything else I can help you with? Perhaps you, Mr. Van Elfo, or are you satisfied?
I'm just here with Sugtok. Yeah, I'm good to go.
Oh, my friend, you remember he's very fast with his fists. He had mentioned the other day he didn't know if the color was complementing his skin tone well.
But the cream color?
It's just the cream and the green, he felt it was off-putting.
To be fair, I was working with what I have. I don't have much of that fabric. It was the only color I have in stock of that, as it's a rarer material. But if it's not to his liking, I suppose I could try to reach out to my suppliers and see if they can't provide me with different colors. But if he has a color preference in mind, I could do what I can to see that a close match, at the very least, is brought in, hopefully at some point within the next few months. He's probably going to have to put up with the beige for now, but...
Well enough. Well, just next time you see him, tell him he looks really handsome. You're a good man, and I'm going to walk out.
Have a good day.
See you later, Hedman.
The anime wave.
Farewell. All right.
Yeah, we turn around and it freeze frames in like a colored pencil drawing, like old Pokemon episodes.
Yes. All right.
Breakfast Club fist
Now,
in the air.
all right. Now, as far as Icar and Tib'resh, who were doing mundane things, is there anything else you're doing this morning while they're out and about besides working on the drawing board and doing push-ups?
Tib'resh will go to work today.
All right.
That's it.
Okay. All right. Is Icar going to be staying at the Lucky Bones?
That's a good question. Yes, they need to get this. He and Rexus are on the verge of a moment of inspiration. He can feel it, so he's gonna work through the night.
Okay, so
and perhaps
all right.
enjoy their new hideout, since everyone else got to hang out and sleep in here and be all cool and roguish. He's gonna do the same.
All right, so you are there when Sugtok and Flickie return. Tib'resh, unfortunately, part of your job today is copying official notices about the increase to the Bleak Bridge tax. So that's how you're made aware of it.
Is there... I have to make copies. Shit. Ruba's gonna be... Sorry, I was thinking about trying to hide code within things like this, but I don't know if I can do it if Ruba is making sure I do things accurately.
It would be linguistics is how you do codes and ciphers and everything, but it's opposed by other people's linguistics checks to recognize.
Right. Yeah, I'm worried about getting targeted, but Tib'resh has an idea that he's gonna bring to his friends later.
Okay.
Now specifically because he knows he'll be making copies of certain things that are distributed about town.
All right. Flickie and Sugtok, upon returning to the Lucky Bones, Tib'resh is gone at the moment, but Icar is still there. He's taking a break from working with Rexus. Like he stepped out to get some water or a granola bar or something.
Icar, how would you feel about increased bridge tolls?
What do you mean? How would I feel about it? Well, it's already it's inconvenient enough as it is for anyone who comes in, anyone that we hire who has to cross the bridge to come up to the manor to take care of it, and they've added that to their costs. If father, why am I talking like father? What is it, Sugtok?
Well, based on your reaction, I have bad news for you. Bridge toll's gone up. 2 gold a person.
2 gold a person?
Every trip. Oh, you can buy a day pass for 10 gold.
You might as well just call it 2 cities at that point. I mean, it's what is he doing with all this money? What is Thrun doing with all this money? Where does he think the money comes from? He's already ruined trade in the ports. He's taxing people. What is he going to do next? Is it going to be a tax to eat food? Is he going to require you to give half of your sandwich to stray dogs on the street? It's ludicrous. I'm sorry, you were saying something?
Thrun's law of hospitality. Thou shalt donate half thy income to charity, or thou shalt have no income.
It just happens to be
Ultima 5 reference. Ooh.
The biggest charity in the city is the Thrun Great Citizens Fund.
That's just what you said made me think. What is all of that money going to? We already know he found part of a copy of the Book of the Damned.
Make me a knowledge.
Just makes you worry.
All of you make me a knowledge religion check. Except for you, Tib'resh, you're not there.
Knowledge religion, that is plus 10.
9.
I'm untrained, so I can't do any better than a 10.
Oh,
22.
Okay. I suppose Kyra could roll also, but I forgot about. Yeah, hold on, I forgot to crack open her thing.
I can do it.
Nah, it's okay. I got it.
But yeah, I rolled 22. Does that get me anything?
Momentarily, I'm just following up on things. Okay, between you. Okay, well,
I like my roll better.
yeah. Unfortunately, I used mine first, so Kyra's not entirely sure what's going on. But don't worry,
Okay.
Flickie knows that religious ceremonies and various rituals do sometimes require expensive material components.
I think he might be doing something bad in the basement.
You want to go ask him?
Not yet.
Then there's not really much we can do about it one way or the other.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think at this point, demonstrating a mass refusal of the bridge tax is just going to wind up getting people, cut down by Dotari rather than actually making a difference.
People are cut down for dropping a grain, much less outright disobedience.
I will bring this up right now, just as a out of character situation. It hasn't really mattered till now, but the bridge toll is collected at the far end of the bridge, so it's not restricting access to the markets on the bridge. But you can't leave the bridge without paying the toll.
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
If you are going to the northern part of Kintargo across the bridge, your toll for leaving into the northern part of the city is collected here. But as long as you are just visiting the market and then heading back out, there's no toll. Access to the market is still fine.
Okay, cool.
It's fully crossing the bridge is what the issue is. As people who've lived in Kintargo, it's how it's operated the entire time. But now that the toll is this high, I feel the need to bring that up.
Okay.
Because the Bleak Bridge Market is the most general market in the entire city, and it's also the largest. It's just basic sundries are there. There's basically never any magical items or anything truly expensive there. And several people actually live like above their stores on the bridge, so this way people who live there can still get to their homes without being charged an arm and a leg every time.
Yeah, that's fair.
On a slightly lighter note, we did get an invitation from Hedeman to have a council of like-minded individuals in the city. We suggested
what?
A sort of a council.
And you're bringing this up second?
Yeah.
Well, the bridge toll seemed like the bad news, so I wanted to start with the negative. And
Why don't you start with the more important news? Okay, council. Who's going to be there?
Us, first of all.
Also,
who else
some
is going to be
friends.
there? What does that mean?
I mean, let's be honest. Anyone involved in treason against Thrune is going to be a little careful about their identity. I'm sure you can understand.
Okay. Well, fine. For the moment, we'll just assume these people are unknown. Okay, so where is this council happening?
We told Hedeman we'd have it here.
Here?
It's
in our brand new secret hideout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, these are friends of. They're vetted by Hedeman. Yeah,
Okay,
the Rose
I
of Pinargo?
like Hedeman, but having it here is a terrible idea. We just moved in. We're still trying to get the place situated.
We need a housewarming party.
We don't need to have a housewarming party with complete strangers. We don't know who they are.
That's exactly what a housewarming party is. You get a new house, you invite a bunch of new people in, you have a good time.
Minor note, DM note. Hedeman said for you guys and your close allies, so metagame, that means you guys and several of the named figures in your allies list on the rebellion sheet. On top of this mystery person he's talking to, who seems to be the only unknown that he was talking about.
Okay.
Just making sure
Okay,
everyone. He's not invite. He's not throwing.
So yeah, it's one person.
Yeah, he's not Gandalf throwing a dwarf rave at your house without your permission.
Well, that's a little bit less alarming. It's still not great.
I tell you what, I will get the ale so we can have a proper housewarming party. It's gonna be okay, Icar.
This is not a party, Sugtok. This is a negotiation. Whenever you bring a new person into this circle, they're going to know who we are. They're going to know where we meet. We need to make a good impression, and we need to be prepared to judge their impression. You know, this is important, Sugtok. It's not a party.
Well, I figured one new person into a brotherhood required a hazing.
We're not inviting them to join the Silver Ravens. We don't even know who they are. We're hearing what they have to say for the first time.
Yeah, because technically Hedeman's not a Silver Raven. He's just allied with you guys.
Not everyone who comes and joins and talks with us is going to be a Raven. But those people who do know who we are and what we're doing need to be thoroughly investigated. And if they're coming to us, it means they probably have some sort of problem they want us to fix. It's not a party. They're trying to buy our services.
But
I wouldn't.
That sounds like cause for celebration. Though buy our services involves payment and adventure. These are the things I like. Okay.
Sugtok, okay. Maybe we can try doing this your way, and we'll see how it works out. And maybe it'll turn out all right. And maybe it won't be a complete disaster.
There you go, sport. I'm going to give him a soft dad punch on the chin.
If we're gonna do this, we do need to have some sort of refreshments, but we also need to have a little bit more added security. Who do we have now? We need to start working on how we're gonna defend this place. We have some of the remnants of the traps that were already built here into the Lucky Bones, but I have a feeling we're going to need to design new traps, and we're going to need to have some sort of on-base security. Most of our teams are busy during the week, working out in the city. We need to have a dedicated, system that's going to keep this place safe and secure.
I will step out and let you guys know that if you choose to take the special action, rebellion action, every week, you can dedicate one team to patrol duty in the Lucky Bones.
Well, yeah, but that takes an action. I feel like we need to have something more institutional. We need to actually have built additional traps and recruit some sort of forces that aren't teams, that are just specifically designed to protect this place, like how the bound devil and the spooky ghosts and all of the slimes and the oozes and the muds. Not something necessarily that evil, but something that we can control that's not really going to have any other task besides keep bad people out. Rexus and I will start working on that once we're finished figuring out what we're going to do with this place for now. But it's probably going to cost a non-zero amount of money, which is fine. We'll figure it out.
It's worth it.
Did Hedeman say when he was going to have his special friend come join us?
In a week.
Okay.
I figured
that
around when we handle managing this rebellion would be a good time to meet with a new ally.
And some of our old allies, and get a sense of how they're managing things. I try to visit people from time to time, but it would be great if we were all in one place and we could make decisions as a group. I don't necessarily feel like I need to speak for the whole rebellion every time I go visit Laria and see how she's doing, or every time I check on Rexus or deal with Octavio. We should meet them all as a group rather than just, occasionally checking up on them.
It would allow for less awkward interchange.
It would.
A weekly coworker touch base.
Okay, I think I can handle this. Did Hedeman have anything else? And are you burying the lead again?
Flickie, am I forgetting anything? I think
that
was it.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Council. Oh, he did tell me to pass along to Tib'resh that he's looking very handsome lately.
I will let Tib'resh know next time I see him.
He's actually in the other room. I thought he was going to be behind me.
Okay, well,
That would have worked out wonderfully.
I have finished my granola bar. I'm going to go back in and see if Rexus has a better name than Club de Soleil.
As you go inside to check, no, Rexus has not had enough time to ponder another acceptable name in the 5 minutes this conversation has taken.
You disappoint me.
He's right about to be back.
I'm not used to naming things. I'm very sorry. I've had my mind full of measurements and planning. It's been full of numbers, not names.
For the shape.
Okay,
I'm certain you know what that's
riddle
like
me
after
this
having
for-
accounting
riddle me
class with
this.
your family.
Riddle me this for numbers, Rexus. How much is it going to cost for us to bring in the necessary... How much is it going to cost for us to even do this whole ice elemental gig?
Well, the ice elementals themselves I'm going to be leaving to the individuals at the academy because they're the ones summoning and binding them. I believe it would just work into their pay.
So are they contracted for us? Who's going to be liable for damages?
We don't have an establishment for them to occupy and perform these duties yet, so I haven't given that much time to that. I've been focusing more on lumber and other building materials, which, speaking of, do you think you might be able to ask your father if you might be able to spare a few cartloads for a discount.
I don't think he's going to be sparing anything, given the currently strained relationship the two of us have. But I can get us a rather good company discount on stone.
Okay, that might work.
Is stone going to fit the aesthetic of the neighborhood?
It's old Cantargo. Stone and top is probably going to be just fine, especially since, well, the last building upstairs burned down. Stone is less liable to do that.
I've got it. If we're working an angle, and we're already dealing with these ice elementals and the cold, why don't we theme the cabaret theater to be Parisian? Parisian is just exotic enough to be appealing, and it is much closer to the pole.
True.
This is like that scene in The Witcher 3 where you have to rebuild the fucking brothel or whatever.
Being a dungeon master means being entertaining. It does not mean be original.
I went all middle school.
Yes, perhaps from the Kodar Mountains. I hear that recently they discovered, lost cities and all that fun stuff up there. The kind of thing that adventurers that go out and about and do their heroics stumble across. So perhaps, Laria talks a lot with ship captains that move to and from Varizia, one for her bellflower connections, but also for spices for her bakery. So maybe I can see if she knows anybody we can talk to.
That would be great.
I'll ask her this week.
Well, if you just want to check in on her tomorrow, no. We've got to do some more. I've actually got some work I need to do tomorrow, but I'll check in with you on. Hold on, I don't remember the day names. I'll check in with you on Toil Day to see
gives me a couple days.
If she has any information about a Parisian who'd be interested.
I will do my best to see that she is informed of our need.
It could be the Varisian hare.
Is that the name of a ship you know of, or is that what you're trying to name this?
No,
place?
like a Varisian rabbit.
Okay.
But not a rabbit, but a hare, which is a bit larger than a rabbit, and it gives off the the impression, the shape.
Of course.
That could work.
Maybe I could ask him. Maybe some of. Maybe I could look through my parents' old contacts from when they had trade with Magnamar. Maybe some of the old Magnamar nobility has something that they could add to my thought process on naming. I'll get back to you on that.
You have your assignment.
I'm working on it. It's good to be busy.
In the meantime, I will work on sourcing the materials for the building.
Are you going to be using that company discount for more of the stone, or are you going to be focusing on the lumber that we need for the supports and the structure?
Well, if we leave a lot of what had been the Lucky Bones' sort of dense gambling rooms as a much more open structure, then we can probably save on the inter-room lumber walls. We would just need to have a large...
We're going to need support beams and buttresses, but yes.
Right, for the roof, but... And of course we would need to have, we would need to have balcony level, obviously, and we would need to have rooms separately for people who wanted to have... Well,
you know what?
I'll think about it.
If you give me another day, perhaps Wheel Day, maybe 2 for Oath Day, I may be able to see if I can't find some of the plans for the Opera House, and maybe we could theme it, the balcony level, off the way they did it in there.
Oh, Barzillai would hate that. Imagine him trying to run his opera, or him living in the Opera House and hearing that there's much more fine art being performed in the city.
You know what? On second thought, perhaps we should tone that idea down. I think the last thing we want to do is bring his personal attention down here.
Yeah, the shadow business.
It's less his personal attention and more just.
Well, I don't
generalized
expect him to
thing.
personally come down here and burn the building down. He has his minions for that, which I'm absolutely well aware.
That's why we're working on building security.
Ugh, this just got a lot more complicated in the last 7 minutes, didn't it?
Well, talk to your Varisians. I'll talk to Father. Maybe he has an architect in mind that he might be willing to point me in the direction of.
Actually, if you were going to talk about architecture, I would perhaps check with Lady Jarvis.
Really?
Yes, Jarvis End is named for her family. They're very big into architecture and construction. The Baroness,
I've never
the Baroness loves architecture.
I've never talked that much with any of the Jarvises, to be fair. But it doesn't help that their estate is on the far side of the Alamaxa estate, and no one likes to go through the Alamaxa estate.
Well, you're not exactly fond of being near the Alamaxa because you know that the Archbaroness is fond of singing, but unfortunately is not very good at it.
Then we'll regroup later in the week, and I'll have spoken with the Jarvis family.
All right.
Hey, please don't chew into the mic, man.
Oh, that's actually coming through a.
Munch.
Well, to be fair, it's a
Or
new mic and headset for him, so he's not used
Yeah,
to
you're
it.
good.
All right. So, winding this conversation down for the sake of expediency.
Right.
Everybody else has a relatively uneventful day after this, unless you specifically do anything else. Tib'resh, it's a stressful but uneventful day at work because you're just like 2 gold, 2 gold, 2 gold, 2 gold. Why is it so expensive? 2 gold, 2 gold for a few hours. Although to be fair, copies of that particular situation, you only have to copy that particular declaration for about an hour and a half because those aren't going to be posted all over the entire city, just the few blocks that are near Bleakbridge, so people have advance warning. And then the rest of the day is your standard, we need to write it's time to copy a abjuration lesson for the Alabaster Academy students. You don't understand half of what these long words are, but you imagine Flickie would. So basically you spend 2 hours copying college textbook chapters.
Ugh.
How dull. I don't think I have much else that I want to do in particular, but Tib'resh has the vague idea if he's writing something that's going to be published in a lot of, or at least even subtly locally, there might be ways to slip in secret messages.
Well, remember, you're a scrivener. Your job is to copy.
Oh, yeah, I will get in trouble if it looks too different.
However, your handwriting has gotten very, very good as you've been practicing. You're able to write cleanly and efficiently, repeatedly, over and over again. A little bit of carpal tunnel happens, but nothing you can't take care of with a good.
It's the least I could do after all this practice.
You just need to get Icar to alchemy you up some Bengay, and you'll be fine. Now, that being said, it is Sunday of this week. Does anybody have anything that they want to do before the council meeting on Star Day? I believe Icar said something about talking to the Jarvises this week.
Yes.
Okay.
Possibly in the middle of the week would be a good time for Icar to go visit the Jarvis estate.
Okay, I'll just roll a d4 and see what day they're available. Oh, good, tomorrow.
Okay. let me. What does Icar know about the Jarvis family?
Knowledge and ability. You know that Baroness Belcara Jarvis is very, very into the aspects of architecture and city planning. She's also she's had contact with your family as well, because stonemasonry is also one of her interests. Garrett, could you mute yourself? There's a lot of background noise. Someone's thumping around over there.
I wonder who it could be.
I was just checking. But you also know, with that knowledge and ability check, that they're not one of the Thrune sycophant families. They have traditional Kentargan values.
Okay. Then yeah, let's go have a play date with the Baroness.
All right. Hold on a second, because my PDFs just decided to crap themselves, so I got to reopen one. Alright. Go into the phone version. I'll be with you shortly.
The phone version of what?
PDF.
Mm.
Okay. You also know that the Jarvis family, that she is the Baroness of Argo, so pretty much she's the Baroness of the island that Southern Kentargo is situated on.
Okay.
Oh, kin to Argo. I get you.
Yeah.
Well, Icar is gonna ask Kyra to politely join him.
She will.
It would be nice for you to maybe see something a little bit more upscale in the city. I don't know how much time you've been able to spend in the Greens.
Honestly, not that much. Now here's the question. Should I go like this, or should I put on my Asmodean disguise?
Well, that's the thing. If we're talking to her anyway, I know that the Baroness is not a great Thrune loyalist. It would be nice to maybe sort of prod her loyalties to see if she might be more interested in the Silver Ravens than just a mild fascination. And I'm worried that the Asmodean outfit will just turn her off to that completely.
All right. Well,
if we were to go visit, say, Oxus Alorian, by all means, fit on the Thrune outfit. I'd love to see that man squirm. If he can squirm, if he has any muscle underneath all of that blood.
I've seen the bloat. I imagine squirming is all he does.
That also reminds me, I need to go check on Markel and see how he's doing. Maybe give him another punch.
You've got quite a busy schedule, don't you?
It's the life of nobility. Get used to it. It's only going to get busier.
Oh, fun.
If this goes well with the Baroness, then by all means, we should visit some of the other estates. Yeah. I think Baron... What's his name? Of the Vashnar Stills. I think he might be worth talking to.
Knowledge and ability.
I hope it's a Baron. I hope it's a Baron. I hope Please don't make me look like an idiot. Haha.
Yes, Baron Sendi Vashnar still.
Ah. What do I know about him?
He's a little on the sleazy side. Most of he owns the Vashnar still shipyards are near the war cage in Ulubalis Harbor, and most of his family trade has to deal with going across the Arcadian Ocean over to the continent of Arcadia.
Okay, so they run the docks. I understand why he's a little bit shady. Everyone knows that docks are where the mob meets.
Yeah, he's the Baron of Anchor's End, which actually is on Arcadia. So he's not a local noble at all, but his business means that it's important for him to have roots here. That's why he lives here.
Right. Okay. Well, no, but just go as you are. Don't put on the Asmodean outfit for this.
All right. As myself, as the gods intended. Got it. It means I'm going as a fox, and I'm not going naked.
Yes. I understood that. Although, when you are a fox, like a fox, does it feel like you're naked? Or do you still feel like you're wearing clothes? Because all of your, all of the clothes and stuff merge into the form.
I understand why you're asking and why you're curious, but it'd be difficult to explain to someone who's never had it happen to them.
Okay. It's difficult, but you can continue.
Oh, I wasn't planning on it. I was just letting you know that if it ever happens, then we'll compare notes.
If I ever get turned into a fox, I think we're going to be having much worse luck than I intend to have.
Speak for yourself. We're awesome.
Well, yes, but you're supposed to be a fox. I'm not supposed to be.
Count Oxus isn't the only one who can squirm, it looks like.
Ew, you're enjoying this.
Oh, immensely.
Well, just be quiet and watch, and let a master work.
It's why I'm being noisy right now.
Should I have asked some of the others to come along?
That's up to you. It's a matter of if you're going to go ask the nobles in the city. I think you want people who look the part.
Yes, that's true. None of them really have they don't comport themselves very high class.
And also considering that, stunt that Thrun pulled a few days ago, you really want all of you to be seen in one place doing things with the nobles?
Well, it's not like he's watching us right now.
Kyra's eyes just kind of narrow, but she looks suspicious, but not like she wants to actually commit to her suspicions, if that makes sense.
Yes. It's good to be a little paranoid, but you get to be the paranoid one, and
I've been the paranoid one. Do you have any idea what it's like running around in the temple?
Is it difficult to explain? Am I not going to understand it until I experience it personally?
No, you've been walking around places where if someone notices you that aren't what you're supposed to be is going to end up in you getting grisly murdered. Well, recently, at least.
That is true. I've enjoyed the last 3 weeks being relatively murder-free, save for the heart-pumping banishment of that demon.
Tell me about it. So how was it sneaking past that Tenebrae in the Elorian estate a few months ago?
How do you... You know what? I'm not going to ask how you know about it, and we never actually saw the Cerberus ourselves. Flickie's bird companion performed lookout duty for us, so we lucked out on that one.
Yes, you did.
but luck is half luck. It's really half luck and half skill if you think about it.
Some might
I
say
think
15% concentrated power of will.
I think we are finally here.
Ah, yes, Jarvis Estate. I don't bother to learn all the individual names you guys have for these places. I just call them the family estates.
Great. Now I'm gonna have to come up with individual names for each estate.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
I'm adding that to my to-do list.
All right.
Okay.
But yes, there's a guard for the Jarvis Estate, like there is for most of the places. At the very least, some sort of household help.
Is the Baroness in?
Yes, she is. May I ask your business?
Yes. I'm Lord Jhaltero. Would you inform her that I would be rather enthused to have a lunch with her concerning the business that our two households share?
I'll go inform her. Wait here, please. And he turns and goes inside. And you're there waiting at the gate outside of the estate as he walks. So it's a couple of minutes of you just kind of standing there, drumming your fingers on your sleeves. And after a couple of minutes, he comes back, says, "Yes, the Baroness she will dine with you. Please, this way."
Thank you. Icar will just stride ahead confidently.
He leads you and Kyra towards into the estate, and as you come inside, you're very, very used to the way your estate looks. Your estate is, for background reasons, how many of the estates do you think that you've actually been to in your backstory, or have you only been in your home?
Icar, no, he's been to the Jhaltero. He's been to the Alamoxa, which is right next door, and he's been to the Elorian. And I think he's been to the Sereni once before.
Okay. Well, your family home is, compared to the Elorians, about as subdued as the Alamoxa families. The Jarvis estate, however, it's not subdued. They have... Their architecture is what stands out to them, because they have, actual historical replicas of, architectural styles holding up their house, when you walk around town and you see the building that's got the Greek columns in the entranceway where nowhere else does, where they have accents like that, where they have different moldings along the wall, different stone inlays decorating the walls. And despite the fact that it's all taken from myriad sources, it all seems very, very sturdy and well put together. But you are led through the foyer to a sitting room at the... Excuse me, burp coming. At the rear left side of the estate, so the side that's closest to what remains of the Victicora estate, where there's a little sunroom there, and Baroness Belcara is sitting there, an elderly woman who looks like this.
Okay.
Where she's sitting there sipping from a porcelain teacup, turns and sees and says, "Ah." When he said, "Lord Jhaltero, I was expecting your father. But I suppose this will do. Please, have a seat, young man."
Thank you. If you won't mind, Lady Jarvis.
She motions to a lounging chair, the kind where it's plush, but it's got the extended, horizontal part for leaning and laying, kind of like imagine a therapist couch, but not really, kind of style.
Yeah, like a chaise lounge.
Yeah, thank you. That's the chaise lounge. That's what I was trying to think of, but I don't French very well.
Icar will sit and sort of motion for Kyra to find another seat in the room.
Kyra looks around and finds There's some stools around the tea table where there's the teapot, teacups, and a small little towering tray of small sandwiches. Just looking at them, mostly cucumber.
I must apologize for engaging in a small ruse with your guard, but I was worried you wouldn't see me if I introduced myself simply as the first son of the estate.
Oh, it's perfectly all right, young Icar. To what do I owe the pleasure of this impromptu visit?
Well, I find myself in the peculiar situation of needing an architect. And I thought to myself, of all the places in Kintargo, where could I go to find someone who knows architecture like the back of her hand?
Well, I bet it didn't take you very long now, did it?
No, it did not. We've recently come into possession of a small piece of property in Old Kintargo, and to be honest, there's really nothing left. But I'd like to build something.
Ah, you must be talking about the old burned-down gambling hall.
Yes. So you know that there's really nothing there of note.
Well, there's the footprint of a large building and wall foundations left over, but yeah.
But there's one more thing there. Opportunity.
Exactly.
And as such, I find myself with a glut of building supplies and nothing to do with them.
Ah. So you're hoping that I would know somebody who might be able to help you with the other part of this little venture?
Of course, if not helping it, not to be presumptuous, but helping it personally, as a gesture of friendship and goodwill. And
I'm more than happy. I'm happy to
up.
put my stamp on it or whatnot. I always enjoy a
Yes.
good building project.
I'm glad to hear that.
Besides, it's built on Argo. It's practically my duty to have something rebuilt there.
The process of rebuilding the city starts small, and yet it grows big, and I feel like there is a lot to rebuild here in the city.
Well, you're not wrong there, young man.
Do you mind if I ask you something candid?
Please, go ahead.
Did you happen to go to Lord Mayor Thrune's most recent audience that he had in the park just a few weeks ago?
I heard he was doing something there, but really, I don't really care that much.
Really?
Well, to be fair, I'm busy. I don't have the time to attend every little thing that he does. I mean,
True, but he doesn't show his face very often in the city.
well, the duties of a Lord Mayor are very busy, and I fully intend to go to the next thing, because apparently he's working on hosting some sort of party at some point in the not-too-distant future.
Really?
Oh,
I hadn't heard of that.
Oh, yes, he was asking... well, I assume so. He's having some parts of the Opera House renovated, shall we say, for, I don't know, it sounds like a ball of some sort.
And of course, he couldn't go very far in renovating one of the oldest buildings in the city without having your support.
Of course not. Well, to be fair, I had to jump on that to make sure he didn't destroy the damn thing. Have you seen what the man's tastes are like? He might be a fan of the opera, but I need to make sure that opera house stays pristine, able to be fixed.
It sounds like you're not a huge fan of him then.
I used to have mint a lot. I enjoyed it. It was a childhood comfort, and that's sadly I can no longer partake in for fear of having the Inquisition fall upon my household.
It's not great living in fear. I understand the same. I don't know how many of your children are still here in the estate, but myself and my siblings, keeping hand of all 6 of us is enough to cause my father to pull his hair out if he still had much of it left.
6. I don't know what your father was thinking sometimes. I've had 2, and that's enough for me.
He's a family man, and
I'm not faulting him for that. I just can't imagine how he does it.
I can't imagine how he couldn't do it. It's just it's always been a part of who he is in my eyes. But I would have to look at it from separate eyes to consider it differently.
True, and it is a shame. I did so enjoy having tea time with your mother. It's a shame. I'm sorry. That's probably a bit too forward.
No, it's fine.
Don't worry. Your stepmother's still a wonderful woman as well, especially considering where she came from. Nidal's just... Hooey.
She's happy to be here in Kintargo. And she's happy to be here with my father, and I'm happy for the two of them.
Clearly, there's 4 walking examples of that.
Well, have you heard any of these rumors about what's going about the town of... I can't remember what they're called. Kyra, do you remember the group that's been... the group that solved the murders that were going on in Old Kintargo?
Kyra's in the middle of one of those cucumber sandwiches. Silver something.
The Silver Ravens. I think that's what it was.
Those. Yeah, bird people.
And Icar will take a cucumber sandwich of his own and use nibbling on it as an excuse to try to, stop from making any sort of revealing expression.
Okay. I've heard something about that, but just in passing from laborers or whatnot, because apparently there was a recent misadventure of theirs, and apparently one of my favorite architects, who, by the way, I'll get you his contact information, had to fix a hole in the wall in the Eudemus tenement a few weeks ago.
Well, it's more business, and to be honest, the tenement is not a great looking building.
It's got historical value. It's the oldest tenement in the city. It's there even before my family showed up here, so we have great respect for it.
I see. Well, that would be something good for them to know, to try to lay off the architecture. He's saying that sort of partially to himself.
I understand.
But if heavens, forfend, if something were to happen, well, I think every noble estate in the city would really have to figure out what they would want from these Silver Ravens, whether or not they would be a useful ally or something that's threatening the stability of the city.
A friend or a menace?
To put it one way, yes.
Yeah, that would certainly be something. Can't imagine Lord Tennyson being big fans of them.
No, well, Lord, what do I know about Lord Tennyson? 1 second, as I unminimize that window.
Count Jeff Tennyson is an elderly, humorless man with a penchant for military history. And since the original Silver Ravens were involved in the defense of Kintargo during the Civil War, you're fairly certain he's heard of them before.
But he's not a Kintargan. Is their family aligned with Thrune?
They are.
Or are they one of the neutral?
They lean more towards the Thrune side of things. Yes.
Okay.
They are loyalists. Let's use that term.
Duly noted.
But the next hour or so with small talk goes back and forth between you and the Baroness, who is a delightful conversationalist, especially when talks about, city's history and architectural planning, and feeding you different ideas about architects that she can recommend and what would best suit your needs. And after picking through what the list of things that you have, she actually does give you a small slip of paper with an architect's name and his address, and also a small estimate of rates per day or per job, depending on the size of the project.
Right.
And at the end of lunch and your little conversation, she bids you have a fine day.
Can I try to leave her with a positive impression?
Make me a diplomacy
No.
check. I think you got a pretty good positive impression on that.
Okay. Well,
Jesus.
if there's anything you need, of course, I'm sure my father would love to have you visit our silver home at any time.
Of course.
But don't hesitate if there's something that you need more specific action for. Father never leaves the house, more or less. Whereas I try to make myself a citizen of the whole city. So if you need something done throughout the city, just don't hesitate to call.
I'll keep that in mind. And she gives a small curtsy to you on the way out.
Icar will bow.
All right, and as you're leaving, make me a perception check.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's not too bad.
All right. And you leave the house. Is there anything else you'd like to do today?
No, that'll be it. I mean, Icar will visit that architect later in the week to get rates and
Alright.
sort of refer them to Rexus.
Yeah.
But he
Go-
doesn't need to do that in character.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. I'm gonna say downtime activity. I talk to the architect and we discuss things. That's that.
Alright.
Can I, in a similar vein, can I retcon before he left, Hedeman would have already told me about his recommendation is sell that cloak or sell the robe.
I imagine that the discussion about Hedeman saying it's a cursed robe, it's what you got was Hedeman personally does not like cursed things, but he recognizes their use.
Okay.
Like, for example, you guys, since you found that in the vault of the Grey Spiders, you figure that's how they took care of captive spellcasters. That's how they kept them docile.
So you guys down with selling this cloak
That's up to him.
or this robe?
Well, I mean, Hedeman has personal distaste for using it. That doesn't mean we can't use it. I mean, does the value of having it as an option outweigh the fact that it is an inherently evil, cursed item?
Yeah, I don't know. He
That's
seems
that's an-
properly spooked.
Well, he's probably someone that the Grey Spiders would have used it on if they'd caught him. So yeah, he'd be a little bit spooked too.
Unless so we can live that curse, I don't want it near us.
And
Yeah,
I
I mean-
don't know if selling it is a great idea, because whoever we sell it to is also just going
Well,
to use it.
I'm thinking to the church, like the box we found in that dungeon. We sold.
Oh,
it to
you're
them,
saying
they-
try to claim a bounty on it.
and it gets it off the streets and out of dangerous potential.
That's a possibility. We could at least see how much. Well, I don't know. If we go and say, "Hey, hypothetically, if we turned in this dangerous item, how much money would we get?" That's a little bit. That's
Yeah, we
pushing
have to
the temple
decide.
out of the
We
fire.
don't need to gouge it, we just need to get rid
Yeah,
of it.
Flickie, you're the master of the arcane. Any feelings on this?
Flickie, do you want to hold on to it? It is a powerful item.
Yeah, sorry, say that again.
Any thoughts on this robe? On
I mean,
selling it?
Getting a
Play with
robe
the
on
bounty?
someone to even try and be sneaky is business enough. But I mean, I'm down with selling it. I don't particularly care too much about it. Because don't we get money from like the church if we bring
Yeah.
it to them or something? Okay.
Yeah, we're like claiming the bounty on the cursed item, or
Mhm.
holding on to it to potentially force onto someone. But that seems.
If we've got someone in a position where we can force robes on them, are they not already kind of fucked up?
No, but I mean, to bring in a real life example and possibly stir the pot a little bit, if we had this robe back when we captured the cultist leader and we threw it on her, she wouldn't have been able to do jack shit.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Don't even fucking start it with that.
I'm just saying.
He is 100% correct.
This is a
Yes.
brainstorming session, but yeah, I think that decides it. This is our let's get them dressed for baddies we have to hold on to.
It's I mean, it is an evil thing to do, but until
All right,
we
so-
won't really know if we need it until it's too late if we've sold it by then.
We've got an agreement among us to
And I
only
mean, we're not-
use it
We're
if
not
we deserve.
hurting. We're not hurting for money. I don't think. Is anyone desperately need the cash?
Anything
Not really.
that would require us to be evil in order to use or do something
Well-
deceitful or shitty, I don't want. Like, let's
So
get
this
rid of
will be only if we, as a group, decide that the circumstances require it. There has to be a majority vote.
It sounds like it's not worth it. I'm all for getting rid of it and making some money off of it. We could always use the money to support our group.
I'll stick in the. I think we should keep it camp. After falling asleep in a room and getting the room shrunk in half by a woman bending the wall, I'd have been happier with her in that nightgown.
Thank you, Roger.
We will not use the cape, but we can open the box. That is true.
If you'd like, Kyra can hold on to it in her haversack, and she can just keep it away from you chuckleheads unless you ask her for it, and I can say no.
That's true. But do we trust?
Which, by the way, yes, Kyra comes with her own haversack.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I think
Ky-
for
well,
now-
Kyra
I
seems level-headed.
I think for now the decision is that we're not going to get rid of it yet. I think we.
Tim, what are you
I think we
doing?
passed our votes.
All right.
Spinning something.
Okay.
I got one of those retractable lanyard things
I
for my new
don't-
job, so I'm just.
I don't have anything else
around.
to do this week. I don't think.
Okay.
Besides, it's just like general getting ready for the council. You know, finding some nice chairs, sourcing something decent to serve to eat. Maybe like a round of nice wine.
All right. I think there was a discussion of this last session, but someone on your teams, I said, had the suggestion that the high-stakes gambling room would make a good conference room because it already had a big table and chairs and benches in there.
That is true. I don't remember the layout of the Lucky Bones, you know, 1-to-1, to be honest.
Yeah, how about this? Let me scoot on over to the Lucky Bones map.
Oh yeah, the high stakes room does make a good council room. The table's going to need to be a bit bigger, but we can do that.
All right. Does anybody have anything else to do this week, or shall we skip ahead to Star Day and Rebellion stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Straight D20 for trying to heal people for money.
Yep, this will be the end of the week, so make your profession rolls. So now I gotta bump on back to the Cantargo map because that's where the Rebellion sheet is. By the way, guys, happy Erastus!
What is that?
That's the month.
Oh, okay.
It is now Erastus. It was Sereneth, now it's not.
I'm assuming we are still in the dead heat of summer.
Yeah, it's month number 7, so it's the July analog.
Are we talking July in Florida or July in Virginia?
July in Spain.
Okay.
It's a wet heat, but not
Actually,
oppressive.
Actually, hold on a second, because I actually know where I can find a goddamn world map of Galarian, so I can actually answer this. Oh, actually, since you guys are coastal with it to the west, I guess I would say it's summer in California.
Oh, okay. So it's a proper, like, 75 to 80 even, deal withable, pleasant temperature.
Something like that. But anyway, you're a flat roll for Sugtok. You did not get any healing money.
Yep.
Sorry. Tib'resh got that much silver. Sorry for that diversion, but I knew that was going to bother me. So, first thing that happens is we roll for supporter attrition. Who wants to make the security check?
Security check.
I can do it.
Plus 15.
Yep.
And then plus 2 additionally because it's Tib'resh.
No.
Okay.
That's a loyalty check. His thing is on loyalty checks.
25.
All right, you guys hemorrhage 3 supporters, but you passively gain 10, so your supporters are 235.
Nice.
When my PDFs crashed, I forgot to reopen the player's guide. There we go. Okay. So then... Alright, your notoriety is definitely not maxed out, and in fact, between the 1d6 minus 1 that comes from both Rexus and Hedeman, you guys aren't notorious at all right now. Your notoriety has dropped to 0 somehow.
Nice.
I don't even know how that happened. Alright, actually, yes, I do. Treasury, not short. Does your rank go up? You have 235. 235 is exactly what you needed for rank 11. Look at that.
Nice.
Oh, yes. What does that mean?
Well, it means I get to change this number.
What does it mean? What does it mean?
Interesting reaction. But what does it mean?
So the total event chance is only 10 right now?
It will be, yes. Okay, what it means is... That's rank 10. You guys get to take... You guys are going to love this. Your rebellion actions per turn go from 3 to 4.
Yikes.
And your max teams that aren't bonus goes up to 6. And everybody gets a gift to the tune of 3,000 gold pieces.
Wow.
Each.
It smells amazing.
Wait,
Thank
we
you.
Each. 3,000.
Good.
Beautiful.
3,000 gold pieces. Okay.
From various members of the Ravens to show appreciation for everything that you guys have done so far.
Well, that's fantastic.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, so rank goes up. All right, now you guys get to take or add things to the treasury, which, by the way, the minimum treasury thing is now sitting pretty at 110.
Okay, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and talk about what we're gonna be doing later. So, does anyone want to make a special order with the merchant lords? Because if you order an item through the merchant lords, you got to put the money in for it now.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. I want to put in money for that Pearl Tower I was trying to buy.
You already bought that.
Oh, I did buy that. That's
Yeah,
right.
you got the Pearl of Power from mail order, and then you got another one from Shershagat's stash. So
Yeah,
you
we
have
got
two
two
level 2
2s.
Pearls of Power.
And then one
Wait,
level
what?
1. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so the question remains: does anyone want to call dibs on the Merchant Lords?
I don't think I need anything from them. Oh, Luke, what do you think about what I said about the luchador mask?
That I can look into making that happen. How about this? I will add it to the list of things, and between sessions, I will send you a list of suggestions of what he can do, and see if any of them tickle your fancy.
Awesome. So yeah, not knowing that I've got nothing for the list.
Of course.
My vote for what to do this week is reduce danger, manipulate events again, because we can have it at 0.
I mean,
If we got 2 events, or 2 actions, and then we've got 2 more.
well, yeah, but we've got other stuff we could do. I mean, reducing the danger is like, it's fine, but we're not even at a 10. We're not even at a doubling, event chance risk right now.
I will also let you guys know that to reach rank 12, you're going to need 330 supporters. The numbers are starting to ramp up.
Yeah, so we're gonna need to be recruiting people, but we have 4 actions, and we can only use one of those to recruit a week. So we could do a recruit action. If no one else, okay. So if no one else is gonna call dibs on the Merchant Lords, I'm gonna call dibs on the Merchant Lords because I have something I would like them to get for me.
What you get?
And so I would like to add 3,000 gold to the treasury, please.
Okay. Alright, 6093. Out of curiosity, what are you trying to shop for?
I was gonna get the Fortunate Charm that we talked about.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Because that's the first part of my wish list. Okay, so now we can keep going with the upkeep thing. I just wanted to butt in and do a little things out of order because we need to,
All right.
we need to put money in before we can take money out.
Okay. Anyway, so anybody else putting any money into the treasury?
Let's see how much we got in there right now.
6,000.
We have like 6,000 in there. So if you need,
we should be
you
fine.
need to take some out, feel free. But I think we're good as far as money goes.
Yeah.
Tib'resh will dutifully still put in 500 gold.
Okay, 6593. Anybody else?
Are you updating that number? Because it's not showing updated on the sheet.
I am updating it. It's still doing weird things. The same thing it was having last time. So I promise it's happening eventually.
Okay.
All right. If nobody else is adding any extra money, you guys have 4 actions to decide what to do.
I would like to nominate one of those being special order.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then we should recruit with 1 probably. Because these rank up rewards have been fucking amazing.
At rank 12, you guys will get an additional bonus skill point.
Ooh, that's tight.
Yum.
Oh wait. Well, okay. If you're not worrying about city stats, then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do special order.
Yeah, I'm not. That's too granular for me.
Because technically, the item that I want is lower than the city's base value.
Yeah, I know.
But,
That's why you get to source it from somewhere else. That's how I'm ruling it.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna special order the Fortunate Charm.
All right.
So that's
5% discount.
so $28.50.
What's it do?
Once
It
per day, this
lets-
good luck charm allows the wearer to re-roll a single skill check or concentration check after the success or failure of the original roll is known. Result must be kept even if it's worse. May not be used on something that's been re-rolled by some other means.
So if it's Gallon Inspiration, he can't use that after a failure
That's
success.
that's not a re-roll. That's you retroactively adding additional numbers to it.
Sick.
This is just like this is really to bait out if I roll a really bad skill check when I need it once per day.
Like if he rolls a really, really shitty disarm check and then he triggers a trap, it gets stabbed in the face.
Yeah, that is one of the primary things. Okay, so that's special ordered. It's gonna take a week to get here.
How much is it? $28.50 you said?
Yeah, 3,000 minus 5%, so $28.50.
$37.43 left.
Okay, do we want to recruit supporters?
I think it's a good idea. Flickie?
Yeah, recruiting's always a good idea. It never hurts to have more people.
All right, loyalty check. Who wants to roll it?
I got this one.
All right,
Roll B20 plus.
14. Because you get a +2 from Laria. And you have to pay 110 from the treasury to do this each time.
We got the money.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
So everybody says, yes, so recruit supporters. Yep, so 2d6 plus 13. 24. 259. All right. So that's special order. That's recruit supporters. You got 2 left.
Luke, what is the absolute best event? The one that's like if you get a 0
If I
or a 1?
a 0, that event is
Well, technically, you can't roll a 0 on the D percentile.
a 1 then. So yeah.
Waldigo and ZZ, we do have some caches to cache.
That's true.
The lowest thing I can do is Week of Secrecy, which is Rebellion is poised to have an excellent week. All organization checks made for next week get a +6 bonus and double the amount of supporters gained. That's what Week of Secrecy triggers.
That's not bad.
It's if I roll a 1, 2, 3, or 4.
So 4 out of 100, but we take 2 rolls and the better of the 2 results.
Well, I still add the danger rating to whatever I roll. So with a danger rating of 10, it's impossible to get that.
That's why I was saying, if we've got 2 actions to burn,
Yeah,
because we already did the 1 safe house for this month, right?
No, it's a new month now.
Oh. Do we want to get another cache then? That's a good point.
It's not a bad idea.
How much does reduce danger by?
It does it in increments of 5 with an additional 5 for every amount over the DC that you get.
Okay.
Specifically, it reduces it by 5 with a DC 15 check. For every 10 points over 15, you reduce it by an additional 5. So 25 would reduce it by 10.
Well, I'm just thinking the other stuff that we can do. So to get the cache, what do we have to do?
You have to take the secure cache action,
That's it. Okay.
and you also have to pick. We also have to pick which cache he's going to be giving you.
We've got what, 2 mediums and 3 smalls left?
There's 3 smalls, 2 mediums, and a major. I don't know if you guys grabbed the major.
I think I've done the major.
Yeah, I think we did the major.
Well, let me read off what they are and see if any of them sound familiar to you guys. Unless you probably keep track of this. The major cache is potions of serious wounds, restorative ointment, scrolls of dispel magic, scroll of raise dead, scroll of restoration. Intermediate is elixirs of hiding, potions of invisibility, and scroll of silence.
You're the best.
And minor is light wounds and lesser restoration.
I actually don't have any of it listed
This is what honestly one of my
that I'm
favorite-
seeing in the loot to be divvied.
Yeah, that's.
Then I think you guys might have talked your way out of a cache and did it and saved it for later. So I think we've been doing a lot of manipulating events lately, so I think it's
Yep.
so
I
it might-
I like the gamble of the really good event possibly happening. And while we've got it low
Well,
and had events to burn, I was
No, I mean we've got 2 more events. We could just try to gather information. Now we've got a whole new set of rumors because we're on a new part of the adventure path.
yeah. And then secure which cache.
you just gotta pick one. No, one of you did pick up a cache because I specifically remember that you guys made Milo's cart the drop-off point and he handed you a crate.
Well, whoever got the cash
Would have been the major, but we need
didn't
to.
add it.
Yeah. We'll get those items and add them in. So we've got what, a medium?
You got 3 minor and 2 medium available.
I mean, we can pick up a lesser cache.
Actually, hold on. Let me double check something. Oh, as this adventure begins, Hedman replenishes his expended cash options, so he has a major cache in stock again.
Yeah, but I don't know if we should try to. I don't know if we need to double up on it. My vote would be to get a lesser or a moderate cache if we're trying to cash in.
I'm good with
We
the
do
cash.
have a ton of the lesser. Let's go with the moderate is my vote because we've got a lot of like small healing potions and healing stuff anyways. Like we've got 8 potions of cure moderate and 6 potions of cure light in the bag.
All right.
8 potions of lesser restoration.
Okay. So an intermediate cache.
If y'all are down, I just because the little one's full of those items, right?
The little one is full of cure light and lesser restoration. Yes.
My vote is moderate.
Mm-hmm.
Salt of bomb.
All right. Any objections? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
No, I don't have any.
No,
Okay.
yeah, moderate is good.
All right. A moderate cache is secured. Where? You guys get to decide where the cache is for you to go pick up.
Do we want to use our last one to secure a safe house?
I thought we were gonna try to gain some more rumors.
Oh yeah, rumors.
Gather information.
Nope.
As far as where the cache goes, if we could have them
Somewhere
leave it
around one of the
at
local
the,
parks that we are nearby regularly.
Can we leave it at the mausoleum that Sugtok and Flickie desecrated?
Oh, that one. The
Old Cadargo?
It was temporary desecration. It was just the night farts.
They'll lean to against the very odd hex-shaped mausoleum. Yeah, sure.
Perfect.
All right. In that case, secure cash. Is there a roll for that? No. But you are going to have either the Asasazi Elves or the Saboteurs secure it.
We can have the Saboteurs secure it.
Okay. So now Saboteurs secure it. And gather information.
From the Cognoscenti, yeah.
Yeah, alrighty then. So roll me a secrecy check with a bonus equal to twice the team's tier. Sorry, that's for me. That's for me. I roll...
Oh, you roll the secrecy check?
No, no, it's... The DC is increased by the team's tier, so... No. Attempt a check with a bonus equal to twice the team's tier. So, a secrecy check with plus 12, because plus 6, and then plus 6 because they're tier 3 times 2.
Plus our secrecy modifier, right?
Yes, which is relatively hefty.
Oh, I guess. Here. 16 plus the team's bonus plus twice the team's tier.
So another 6. So this will be plus 28. Okay. All right, now let me look at the rumor mill. All right. Roll me a d10. Just flat.
Four.
This is the rumor that the Cognoscenti report to you. The Opera House has secret chambers within that hold treasures hidden away from the time of the Civil War. Treasures that no one has seen in decades.
Secret treasures, you say?
Yep.
Underneath the church?
The Opera House.
Opera House.
Oh. Oh no.
Okay, I think that's all of our actions.
Okay, hold on a second. Gotta remember to mark down that your fortunate charm is in the mail. Alright, so an event chance. Okay, well, let's see. 10%. No, but I did roll a 69.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, no event this week, which means a double next week, and the reduced danger goes away. Danger rating is 20 again. Event chance is 40 for next week. Alrighty then. That being said, we're going to take a quick 5-minute pee break here, and then we're going to get on with your first council meeting.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Alright.
Hell yeah.
Dokie.
Alright,
Break.
I'll see you guys in a few. So, once you guys finish with your telling the teams to do what, assigning shit and placing orders and getting everybody off and doing their things, you all adjourn to the conference room for your council meeting. And in there, there's a handful of people standing by, sitting around the table with various chairs and or benches that have been brought up.
We're not going to show up to the council meeting late. You know, clearly we're going to be there before the guest of honor arrives.
Okay. I was going to say, as you guys filter in, the other people that join you of note are Brexus, Laria, Octavio, and Hedeman shows up. and sitting around the room on some of the benches in the conference room, Ava of the Asasazi Elves is sitting there as well. And a figure in a cloak and hood. Yes, Garrett, very, very much so. And honestly, just sitting in that hood just seems very, very. It seems very, very like Ghost of Christmas Future level of like, the hell's going on under there?
Tib'resh takes in a vibe check.
Vibe check.
Yeah, that is my sense motive, especially the the other people we relatively trust, but specifically the hooded figure.
You're not sensing danger. You're also sensing a twinge of familiarity.
Tib'resh, as subtly as Tib'resh can be, nudges his friends with his elbows and raises his eyebrows like in a comic fashion, like it's fine.
Well,
Don't worry, guys.
I'm a little insulted.
You see these? You see these big bushy fucking eyebrows that I've never trimmed ever because I'm an orc.
Hi guys,
These
how
are
you
trustworthy.
doing?
That's my sense motive to interpret
I'm
to
a little
Bresh.
insulted that Captain Sargetta didn't send his first mate. I was hoping we would be able to get information to him about what's going on.
In there. I handed it back.
Well, remember, Captain Sargita is personally indebted to the four of you. He's less. He basically, his support of the Silver Ravens is more that he's not going to oppose it unless you give him good reason to, because he's still a Chelish patriot. He's just not a fan of Barzillai for personal reasons.
I think he's gonna find that border a little more difficult to draw as we keep going.
He did say that he would do anything short of outright treason to the Queen, and attending a meeting like this would qualify.
That's why he doesn't have to attend. He just sends his first mate. Besides, he can't attend because he's stuck on his ship because of Thrune.
Exactly. To be fair, he's stuck on the ship with his boyfriend, so however shall he pass the time?
Okay,
Oh,
they can quit banging for like 5 minutes to come to the meeting or send someone down here. But it's his decision. Like I said, Icar was just expressing his disappointment that not even a brief mention.
Are we
Not even gonna send his first mate to figure out what's going on. But okay.
Are we all gathered around a table, or are we all walking around having, water cooler and like?
You are assembling at the conference table where you guys diced off against Laura Lou's ghost.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Hedeman who his buddy is.
All in good time.
It seems like a pretty good time.
We're getting there. We're just waiting for everybody to take their seats.
This
Can
is
I-
dramatic effect.
Can I get you a mug of ale?
Yeah, sure. I'll take one.
Fantastic. And I'm going to go over to one of the casks that we had set up for the event. And,
Okay.
pour
And
them
I
out.
also remind you guys that there are actual like shelves carved in to the walls of this room for drinks and refreshments, because this was the high roller room.
Then hell yeah, I'm going to walk over to the tap and pour him a nice stout. I'm going to pour him a good Guinness.
There is a small tapped barrel. Like the barrel might be like twice this size, like whatnot. It's like a portable thing, but there's a couple of mugs worth in there.
Hey, can I scan the room and get a judgment on, Tib'resh, like security wise, making sure the room is sound?
Go ahead. Sense motive.
Sense motive, but not perception.
You're trying to get a feel. The vibe you're getting from the room is good. Slight bit of anxiety coming from Ava.
Okay, I will say for the record, it shows a 17 on the die side up on my fucking screen, and I'm very upset about it because I've been using 3D dice this whole time and it's never been wrong. but it shows a 17 and I rolled a 5. Fucking A.
I see it too. You rolled twice.
What?
Yeah, you did roll
Oh,
twice.
that's the 17. I didn't. The 5 didn't. It must be.
To be fair, when you
somewhere I
guys roll
didn't
something, I have my eyes kind of fixed on the bottom of the chat window, so sometimes things like that slip past me. But either way,
I always make sure it's legit.
it does not matter if it's 36 or 24. The answer stays the same.
Okay.
Seems good. Ava's stressed out.
So I'm gonna take the mug and hand it to the guy in the hood and say,
Oh, I thought you were talking to Hedman. The guy in the hood did not say anything to you.
Oh, I was specifically talking to the person in the hood.
Oh, I thought you were talking.
Get you a mug of ale?
I thought you were talking to Hedman. The person in the hood doesn't say anything.
All right, I'll get two.
But
and then I'm gonna-
but does hold out a hand to accept the ale.
yeah, then I'll hand one to him and one to Hedman, and go take a seat with the guys.
As you hand the ale to the person in the hood, you're getting the distinct thing that, based on the hand that received the ale, the person in the hood is either an elf or a woman.
Okay, so as I'm going to the guys, I'm going to like try to eyeball, just like look over at Flickie a lot, and also like just like awkward eyeballs over at Flickie, making very like trying to just be in front of me so they can't see me from behind.
Okay.
Icar is busy arranging all the paperwork that he's brought to this council.
All right.
He picks the head seat at the table.
If anyone were to sense motive on Tib'resh in this moment, he would currently. They would all feel that Tib'resh is not friends with Sugtok in this moment.
I'm gonna look over at Tib'resh and just like, you get it? Like, you good? Do you understand? Sit down.
All right. You guys all sit down, and Lictor Octavio has actually gone to the extra step of actually dressing in his Hell Knight armor. Basically, he's wearing his dress. Basically, he's just, all official and everything for this.
Dress, please.
Yeah, pretty much. Especially since blue accents are actually how the Order of the Torrent does their thing. They're like tabards and scarves are blue.
Okay.
All right. Look around, and Laria starts up. So we starting this whole Silver Council thing, or what?
Not until I find out what's under the hood.
Yes, I'll be getting to that. Hedman says.
Hedman,
Fine,
I'm
Hedman.
afraid from what I understand of your conversation with Sugtok and Flickie, we called this council on your suggestion to entertain our hooded guest. That's why we're here. It's not in due time. The rest of us are not wearing hoods.
Yes. Well, I thought I would make proper introductions once we were all ready to begin.
Okay, fair enough. Then let's do this.
I believe you've been prompted to do so.
Yes. Although I don't think I need introductions, perhaps, but it depends. Either way, this...
Hedman, I'm going to pull your horns off of your head.
I'm getting to it. This, he says, making a gesture with his hand as the hooded figure stands up, is a very dear friend of mine. Pulls the hood back, and you guys do, in fact, actually recognize this woman.
Is it Nox? Don't tell me it's Nox.
This is Lady Mialari Dokur of Dokur's School for Girls,
Oh, nice.
and she wished to meet you all
Well, here we are.
as a reminder for all of you.
Yes, I believe we have met.
Yeah.
Headmistress.
Yes, we have. Although, I must admit, by the way, she's speaking in Elven. I must admit I was a little surprised to see all of you sitting at the leadership positions here.
I answer back in Elven. Why?
Especially you. She says
Fair
to
enough.
you. She says to you, Flickie.
Fair enough.
When last we met, let's say that impressions did not lean towards this particular avenue. By the way,
Well,
how many of you guys speak Elven besides Dillon or Flickie?
Me.
I'm pretty sure I do.
Okay,
I think everyone does.
all right. Laria clears her throat and says,
Oh, poor Kyra. Kyra doesn't speak Elven. She's gonna be fucking confused after this.
"Yeah." Laria says, "It's all well and good, Lady Dokur. Nice to see you, by the way. That you're practicing what you preach, but down here, could you at least speak so the rest of us can understand?" She looks at Laria and says, "Apologies, in common. Habits and all. That's what happens, especially when you've stayed insulated for as long as I have during this entire endeavor."
Lady Dokur, it's a pleasure to see you, but I'm not sure what our organization can do for a girls' school.
Well, it's more a matter of what your organization and mine can do for each other, especially against a common enemy.
We're listening.
Yes, I do teach the girls at the school. I teach them very well. And the ones that are exceptionally gifted students are inducted into my Lacuna Effects. Make me a knowledge local check, everybody.
Knowledge local. That is plus 10. 27.
5.
Uh, 10.
Okay. Tib'resh and Flickie, you have heard in passing rumors of a group called the Lacuna Effects, but nobody seems to know exactly who they are. But based on the fact that they seem to be mentioned when things have gone missing, it seemed like the common belief is that the Lacuna Effects is a group of thieves.
Okay.
You're free.
Tib'resh
What?
washes his arms and narrows his eyes, but doesn't say anything.
Skeptical as to how a group of thieves may be helpful to us.
Are you gonna share your knowledge with the rest of the party?
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Well, I meant that mostly at Tib'resh.
Oh, okay.
To be fair, Flickie
over here.
Flickie knows this too.
And just scowls.
Yeah, Flickie knows this too.
Right.
I'll just say out loud, is that not that thieves group I've been hearing about?
That's a word for it.
What do you guys steal?
Things people
Flickie,
ought not have.
you don't just ask a thief what they steal.
Well, I mean, we're trying to trust each other here, right?
I suppose.
Well, then let's just get it all out on the table, literally.
Well, I was interested because word came to me that you were investigating what remains of the Grey Spiders.
Yeah.
I don't exactly have fond memories of their time in the town. And part of me was,
Memories of competition, or memories of their less savory methods.
some of column A, some of column B. And I was curious as to what your interest in them was.
Well, to be frank, we really have no interest in the Grey Spiders themselves past securing the use of their previous facilities.
And what fine facilities they are, she says, looking around.
We've been doing a bit of sprucing up. I'm happy that you've noticed.
Yes. Well, they've been gone for decades now, so clearly there'd be decades worth of cleanup to do.
You have no idea.
I'm sure I have some.
It's not like a one-to-one kind of deal. I mean, I could probably handle a few of those rooms in just one day.
That's fair. But primarily I came here to offer both the Lacuna Effects and my services as allies against Barzillai Thrune.
In what fashion?
Well, while my girls assemble and get themselves prepared, I can offer what talents I possess to aid you in your endeavors.
And what would those be?
I am very good at organizing things and people.
Well, shit, we have an organization. So
And if you need something else, she pulls out a scroll tube and sets it on the table, and with a push of her hand, it is pushed across the table with like a mage hand spell in the direction of Flickie.
my eyes light up like the Wizard King from Black Clover, and I get super stoked because I don't know what's in here. And I pop the top and look inside.
Call them tokens of my goodwill. There are 2 scrolls inside.
I use my magic glasses and read them.
They are a scroll of raise dead and a scroll of heal.
Awesome. Yo, guys, these are legit.
What would you like from us in return for your aid?
At the moment, it seems that you ravens are the best hope the city has against whatever atrocities Thrun has yet to unleash upon it. The man's mere presence is, let's not mince words, it's an affront to all good Kintargans.
Hear, hear.
I'm merely siding with what I believe to be the correct choice.
And perhaps hoping to put yourself a bit ahead once the city is free.
I've done what I can among the city to keep my girls, who, shall we say, would be, without my guidance, outcasts at best for the gifts that they have and have developed.
Well, you know me, I'm generally just a yes man. I think this doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Wonderful.
Is there something particular you would want of us in return for your help? We appreciate the offer, we do. I just want to make sure that there's no strings attached.
The strings attached is that I'm expecting you to get rid of Barzillai and his cronies.
And that's kind of what we're trying to do.
Then we have an understanding.
Well, I mean,
There's
How
For
much?
us and the homies
Yes,
to all this
and what? And besides those here at this table, what support do you have in the city? If I might ask.
like 250 something people.
She makes a pointed look at Lictor Octavio and Hedeman.
We have an understanding with the Order of the Torrent, or what remains of the Order, and we understand the position that the Rose of Kintargo takes as it regards to those who are seeking liberation in occupied lands.
Very well. So you have alliance with an outlawed group of Hell Knights and with a secretive cult of God-fearing worshippers.
We also have a few favors that we can call in from the Chelish Navy in a desperate situation.
Interesting. But what about your local support here among the nobility? After all, once Thrun is gone, hell, even during whatever actions he takes here, it would be best to make sure that you know who your allies are when the push comes to shove.
I think I can speak at least for House Jhaltero, where they would fall.
And she holds up a finger. I'm quite sure I know where their political leanings are. But just your presence here does not mean that House Jhaltero supports the Silver Ravens.
That's
What support do the Silver Ravens have from Kintargo's nobility?
Not a lot declared.
I would work on remedying that. Noble support is one of the ways I have been able to maintain my school as open and as until recently uncontested by Cheliax, as I have been able to.
How would you recommend going about claiming outright noble supporters?
I think I have a few ideas.
I would say addressing to the heads of each household.
I actually had a rather good conversation with
Baroness
with Lady Jarvis. And I think a few more conversations would be. It wouldn't be very hard to get her to make some sort of pledge of support. The others, I'm not so sure about. Honestly, I think I dread the most even bringing up the idea with Father. But we're gonna have to talk about it at some point.
Kyra and Mialari both chuckle at that.
Only one of you are allowed to chuckle at a time. I'm not dealing with double chuckles here.
Oh no, ladies' rights. That came from Kyra.
Well, Lady Doker, you make a few interesting points and an interesting suggestion. And we're happy to have you support the Silver Ravens in whatever capacity you feel comfortable doing so.
Delightful.
This has actually been very enlightening. Would you be interested in making these council meetings semi-regular?
I don't see why not. Although, getting all of us together in one place, the same place over and over again, would probably draw attention. Octavio perks up and says, I was thinking a similar thing, so perhaps we could choose a different location every week to hold these meetings?
That would be acceptable, so long as we can vet the location beforehand to make sure it's secure.
Okay.
We still have a few friendly places that I'm sure wouldn't mind the extra business of a private party in the middle of the day.
Hedeman perks up that says, I believe I can allow the use of the shrine below the Devil's Threads once or twice, but I would not suggest it. I would not suggest using it more than perhaps twice. Such a crowd in my shop will draw attention if it happens too often.
Octavio, do you think your cousin would mind letting us use a room in the Tooth and Nail?
I could probably convince her to let us in. Let's see, a room. An entire room for all of us? I don't see a problem with us getting a room from her. I just see a problem with all of us getting there unnoticed. Hoods and cloaks only do so much.
We work with, people with many talents who, we could probably find our own place to open up that would be safe for a week or two. For all of us to meet up as well. Like,
if it's not the entire rebellion, we can still hold the council meetings in the wasp nest below the coffee house.
That's true.
And we have ways to pass messages.
And perhaps in a month,
we can use the sewers to get there unnoticed.
Perhaps in a month, once we've exhausted every other location, we'll be invited to Miss Doker's house.
We'll see.
Provided we don't steal anything.
We'll see. I need to make sure that you're not going to be a bad influence on my girls.
I think all of us here, except Flickie, would be fine with that.
I think I am a pretty good guy. You know what? My wife likes me. I like me.
I assure you, Flickie will be no worse with the girls than he is with everyone.
See, now there's a fair point.
Out of character, that terrifies me because I know what you guys do on sleepovers.
We're not sleeping over in the girls' house. I mean, unless they specifically ask us to, in which case we'd have to think about it.
I assure you, they will not.
Anyway, we should probably decide now where our next council will be, so that we're not worrying about it. Hedeman, if you don't mind, I think we'll take your suggestion, as that is the one we can definitively say has invited us.
Of course.
So
And that also gives us all a week to come up with ideas of our own.
yes.
Wonderful.
In the meantime, we will follow Miss Lady Dicker's suggestion about securing more than just token noble support. We might need to split it up and divide and conquer some of the estates based on, well, what exactly they would want from us, which we'll need to do a little bit of investigating.
We could, if y'all are down for it, we could do just reconnaissance and send a letter to the head of the household when we know the head of the household is home with our silver raven.
That's a terrible idea, at least for a few of the estates, the Serenis and the Tenessons for sure. Not every noble house is open to the idea. Even for some of them, it would just be an immediate something that they would report to Thrun. That we even reached out to them. No, we need to be a little bit more tactful.
We can discuss.
I know nothing about tact. I leave that to you, friend.
We can discuss the mechanics of such a thing after the council meeting.
Right.
Luke, the DM, says to his players.
Okay.
All right. With that being said, I shall be in touch with you about how I might be able to assist you. But for now, I have things I must get back to, and I believe some of you have other things on the agenda to discuss. So with that, I will take my leave for now.
Of course. We look forward to seeing you at the next council meeting.
Of course. And she steps out. Well,
All right.
Well,
that seemed lucrative.
Well, that was interesting. Excuse me.
Oh, that could have gone a lot worse. It could have gone better too. I honestly did not expect her to probe us so hardly.
Well, it's what you get with them noble types. You know that already, Icar.
I do.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. The next topic is, well, you guys remember my steps, right?
Your steps?
Yeah. Well, step 2, you just finished. You got yourself a hideout and some alliances on the local level. So now I think we should discuss step 3, which would be regional support for the rebellion. And we've all come up with some ideas about that.
Well, we did just befriend some water elves.
Which brings me to my next point. Ava, you wanted to say something, dear? And Ava stands up. Yes. This seems as good a time as any to mention what I've heard from Asazazi, especially in the recent letter that I got. It's gotten worse. When we left, there was just the malaise, the illness that had fallen upon our village. It's gotten worse. Undead now come from the seas and we've begun attacking and abducting the people from the village. You did say that you would help, and I would ask that shortly it'd be the next thing on the list. My people are being taken.
This is that place with the aboleth, right?
That's what we
Yes.
believe, yes.
Menethegero, I
Louise.
believe, is what the drowning devil called him.
Yes, and the scum served him as well. They called him their master.
Well, if we're going to go to help your village, we're going to need to secure a few more items of import, as I think we've all learned that fighting underwater is not our strong suit.
I understand, but just please do not take too long with your preparations. I hope I return to a village and not to a graveyard.
Did the letter say? Did the letter have any timeline of how I understand the situation is desperate, Did they say that they feared they would be overrun in a matter of weeks, days?
How close to death are you?
Apparently, the undead that came out came with an ultimatum that we surrender to their master.
Undead. Huh.
Who is the master?
Menethegero, according to the briny bone that came out of the surf.
Tell me about the terrain of this village.
Aces Ozzy is literally, it's not on the coast, it's in the coast. Half of the village is on land for our half-elven kinsmen and children, and the other half of the village is underwater for aquatic elves such as myself. Sorry, I'm going into Laria's voice.
Is Menethegero an aquatic?
If Menethegero is an aboleth, he is aquatic, yes.
Super.
Well, that is a demon in particular. You said there are certain ways we can handle demons.
We do have a favor from the Navy.
And yes, we have naval support.
I don't think Captain Sargata's ship is going to be able to bomb an aboleth out of the water.
However,
But they can assist us in our.
it is 2 days to the Dismal Niche by ship, 5 by land. The Dismal Niche is the area of the coastline where Isazazi is.
Would he make us call in a favor just to take us up there, or could we just pay him for the ship for the ride?
You'd have to ask.
We would have to ask. I think one of our tasks this week will be to talk to Captain Sargata about his willingness to transport us up to Asazazi.
Isazazi is west on the coast from here. As a matter of fact, I think we're still on the thing. Did I already point out where on the map it is? Because we can actually look at the region. Yeah, over here to the left, above the calendar on the region map, I have actually marked Isazazi where it is.
There it is. Okay. Yeah, that would be an easy ship ride.
They have been moored for repairs.
For several
That's another
months
thing
now.
to remember.
For several months. Maybe we'll need to help him accelerate those repairs. So we'll I think what we can do is one of us can go talk to Captain Sargata and get a feel for how willing he is to have us charter his ship just to Asazazi and back, whether or not it would cost a favor or if he'd be willing to do it for some other form of compensation. And we need to probe the noble estates to figure out how we can get them to pledge their support either publicly or privately for the rebellion. That seems like the two big tasks we have in front of us.
Yeah, well, we got more on the agenda, sweetheart.
Oh Lord.
Yep. Ava, you had anything else? Just that there are several aquatic elf settlements in the Arcadian Ocean along the coastline, and if you help us out with this, I'm fairly certain that my people would be willing to keep an eye for any sort of naval response from Cheliax coming via the inner sea. Early warning, if you will.
Thank you.
Right.
That would be helpful, and we'll do what we can for your people.
Thank you. And she goes to sit down on the bench again as Rexus pops up. And this is what I've been working on in my spare time that's not focused on, blueprinting. Another place we could probably look to for regional support would be Vire. The city has been, Vire, while on paper a part of Cheliax, has been treated more as a free city, as it is a place of pleasure and vice, and the Chelish government has vested interest in maintaining good relations with the city. So if we could get support from Vire for the Silver Ravens, that would probably be a very, very good anchor in our corner. Give us some legitimacy, if you will, if that makes any sense.
With the knowledge local, what do I know about Fire? Beyond what you explained.
If I told you it was like Las Vegas, would that help?
Yeah, that does.
Yeah, pretty much. Vire's the
It's
place where
Fire Island, feeling hot, hot, hot.
Yeah, pretty much. Vire is. It's pretty much a place that the elite of Cheliacs go to unwind and indulge in what they like to indulge in.
The Golden Saucer.
Kinda.
Who runs it then if it's not run by like a Chelish governor?
Knowledge nobility.
Oh, this is my knowledge in general.
Not bad.
I guess that's my local to see if I knew about them.
That's 22. Is your nobility +5 on top of that 22, or is the 22 factored into your?
22 is my standard. It's an extra +5 for nobility.
So I asked for a nobility check. Is that what that is, or did you?
So 19. The first one was to see if I knew what was going on.
Okay.
To even think about this.
Sugtok knows that Vire is run by multiple people. Icar is aware that Vire is run by basically a sitting council of 5 kings and queens, each overseeing a different aspect of the city.
Okay.
That's all you know about that. Your father has specifically kept you away from any sort of trips that would take you to Vire, although he has had reason to travel there for business.
How far away is it?
It's the island just north of Kintargo. You can see on the map. It's pretty much like a day-and-a-half boat ride.
Sounds like
Oh,
a
fuck
horrible
yeah.
place.
So
Trapping
Rexus,
people in
you
their
said you've
vices.
been working on it. What's your idea?
Tib'resh, you'd be a great one to take on a scouting mission. You don't
well,
have.
The idea being that maintaining good relations with Vire is important to the Chelish government, so if picking on the Silver Ravens or Kintargo would piss Vire off, aspects of the Chelish government might not be willing to send aid to Barzillai Thrun in the event of an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
I think a trip to Vire will probably have to wait until after we've helped the Asasazi elves.
Understand?
But it's
I understand. There's nothing pressing demanding our attention in Vire. It's just the idea I've come up with.
Right.
Ava is the only thing I've heard so far that has a hard, impending sense of doom about it, besides the whole civil, war thing. Well, I guess it's my turn, Octavio says. I've been looking as well, and I've been keeping an eye out for what's been happening with the reclamation in the Heartlands. The Iomedeans are continuing their push, and some Thrun agents are pushing them back in towns like Cantaria, I think. I'll have to double check my notes, but the one thing that I do know is that recently one of Barzillai's cousins has been assigned to oversee the military checkpoint in the Menador Pass. The keep in the Menador Pass is the only hard point between the land route between Ravenel as a whole and the Chelish Heartlands, without them having to take the long way around and coming through Nadal, and that itself is already going to be a political clusterfuck. If there's a way to block off Menador Pass, like destroy the keep, we would be able to prevent soldiers from taking the land route to reinforce him.
And the Metador Gap is really the only land route from central Cheliax up here to Ravenel.
Exactly. The Heartlands to Ravenel, it's the only land route that doesn't travel through neighboring provinces and Luke's looking for a word. Jurisdictions. Just to make it really obvious to everyone, I've put the finger on the Metador pass.
Okay. What do we know about the what do we know about any fortifications in the pass?
Rexus pops up. I remember there being something about Menador in some of the Silver Raven documentation that we found back in the livery once upon a time. It wasn't truly relevant, so we didn't pay much attention to it, but I can spend some time and go back over it and see whatever they found about it. But what I know is that it's a keep at the narrowest point at the pass, a choke point, a checkpoint. All traffic must pass through Menador Keep, and it's under military surveillance.
If we wanted to cut off the pass, we would want to try to cut it off at its choke point, smallest point.
Again, I will do some research and come back with what I found.
Yeah, if the Ravens knew something about it, then it must be important. I have to imagine that they would have known the same thing we do, which is that cutting off military support from the Heartlands is the only way that we're going to have a chance at winning if this does break out into a full war.
Yes, because if you can starve an army from any sort of reinforcements, you can whittle them down in a war of attrition. If we can limit Barzillai's reinforcements, eventually he'll have no choice but to go down.
Well, these are all really good suggestions. What do the rest of you think? What should we focus on?
I mean, the Vire thing sounds good.
I think the aboleth in the Water Elf Village is the most terrifying and the most pressing issue we've got.
Leah?
The undead recently rising and bending to an aboleth's will is shit gets out of hand quick.
We also owe a favor to those elves.
And if we get their help, they can support us about incoming water support that Thrun may have coming.
Mm-hmm.
I will pretend that sentence made grammatical sense.
Yeah, no, it's that got a little garbled, but they can be an alert network.
They can provide naval support.
Wait, they can actually provide naval support?
By being an early warning system.
Are they our fishman pirates? Swimming around under the water and just punching ships in half?
That is something that we can revisit, is talking to our friendly group of pirates. Not pirates. We can talk to our friends who
spies.
owe us a few favors. If it's because the demon that is attacking them is. What do we know about the demon? How it acts?
I've given you guys the spiel on aboleths, but they are, to recap, you and Flickie are the ones who have actually read and know this. But aboleths are an aquatic race of large, fish-like beings with powerful psionic abilities.
I'm just thinking fishmen from One Piece right now.
We'll have to find a way to help our friends outfit themselves, but they might be able to help
help us keep in a water creature like that.
Wonderful. Is there anything else, or can we wrap up? I've got something. Kyra says.
Oh, okay.
So I've been in some of my free time. I've been wandering around town, and I've noticed there's a woman who's been going around town asking about you guys, either by description or by name. A short-haired Tian woman, wearing goggles, a little bit of armor. And at this point, a headman says, yes, she came into my shop one day and was asking as well. And Tib'resh, you actually, after she describes it, you remember seeing this woman as you were helping to repair the Eudemus tenement because she was up and staring at the hole in the wall. Looked like she was just observing it.
Oh. Wait, you're talking about... Sorry, what does she look like?
Short-haired Tian woman wearing goggles, like in the headband style. Got some studded armor on.
Well, yeah. Goodness, I've seen her too.
Probably just keep an eye out for her. That's probably either very good or very bad.
Bad how? What? I don't understand.
Well, think about it. How many people would be asking about you? People who want to help you, and people who want to hurt you.
We've done a lot of good around town. Why would anyone want to hurt us?
Tib'resh, I'd like you to take that sentence and I'd like you to think about it. Just a smidge.
Think really hard, Green Man.
Just rub a couple brain cells together.
No, considering all the good we've done,
I would hope no one would have any ill will against us.
I think because of the good things we've done, people have ill will against us.
You're only thinking about good people's intentions. There's a lot of bad people in this city, friend.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not that naive. I was just hopeful.
Well...
Your optimistic naivete is adorable, really.
It's soul-crushing.
Well, we need to figure out who this woman is and who she's working for. And there are two people we can ask about that. Her, or someone that we can find her reporting to. But if she's been able to surveil us pretty well, or at least investigate on our tracks, I get the feeling she's going to be a little slippery when it comes to actually chasing her down. I mean, I don't see a lot of harm in letting her continue if she hasn't really gotten very close to finding us. But it may also be a good idea to just nip this early in the bud. If she is working for Thrun or the church or someone else. Although she doesn't sound local. She sounds like she's been hired to do this by someone. I don't think she's in it for the sake of Kintargo itself.
Do you think we could... If it's a mercenary, we could just outbid her current employer and bring her under our employment.
That is true.
We did just get a 3,000 gold gift from the adoring public.
Are you going to bribe her yourself?
I would love to. So I'm thinking maybe we go about our business, we stir up trouble, stop troublemakers as usual, and kind of keep an eye out for a Tian woman that may be following us.
While you're keeping an eye out for things, Octavio says, I've got something else I'd like to add as a final point as well. Entirely different topic, so put her out of your mind for now. Or not, because maybe she might help, but... You all know why Barzillai outlawed my order, right?
Not particularly.
Because he's trying to emphasize the Order of the Rack that he brought in himself, right?
I believe
he's
so.
He's essentially trying to replace you.
I believe so too, but I also believe that what we were doing might have been a factor as well, because I'm going to be perfectly frank here. I don't believe for a second that Lord Mayor Baneless fled across the Arcadian Ocean. And my armigers and I were investigating what may have actually happened to our previous Lord Mayor. Whatever it was, I've been asking around town. pretty much nobody that I talk to believes the official story that she fled. So what it means for me is that I believe that Barzillai, he wouldn't kill her. He's still a political official, and House Thrune still has its ways of doing things. And, based on what I've learned about the man, he wouldn't be that nice to her. I believe she's being captured or tortured somewhere. I have no proof of this, but since we're sitting down here talking, I think the blanket idea of keeping an eye out for any information about Lord Mayor Banelis would be a good idea. Especially if she is still nearby, alive. She could be a fantastic rallying point for the rest of the city. She may have had her naysayers before, but some of those same people, they say, compared to Barzillai Thrune, she might as well be Iomedae herself walking around in righteousness.
Does your order know anything about some of the other figures that have disappeared? Like Shensen or Stray of a Story?
Unfortunately, Stray of a Story and Shensen were both civilians. We didn't exactly prioritize them over the Lord Mayor, and we were very quickly shut down once we started asking too many questions in the wrong direction. But make no mistake, during my off hours I am searching for missing people when I'm not busy doing things that you've asked, or any other way that I can help an active project. I am looking, but I still see no trace of either Miss Vestori or Lady Shensen.
You said that they may be held captive or being tortured somewhere?
Well, before the Night of Ashes, Shensen herself was the most outspoken critic of Thrune, and Barzillai has not so far seemed like the type of man to take criticism well. He may have grabbed her that night. We don't know. But the fact that nobody in town has seen her lends credence to the fact that she might be imprisoned somewhere that nobody can get.
Barzillai's home is the Opera House, right?
Correct. Speaking of, Laria chimes in. Has anyone else been hearing about this party that's going to be being held at the Opera House?
Yes. Lady Jarvis mentioned that the House Jarvis had been summoned by the mayor to begin making a few alterations to the inside of the Opera House. Alterations that led her to suspect that they were going to be throwing some sort of ball.
Yeah, I heard. Apparently, some of the workers involved are talking about how he's setting up for a masquerade of some sort.
Our people earlier in the week also heard rumors that under the Opera House is a cache of treasures. If we can get into this party and slip away for just a little bit,
I think we will definitely want to keep our ears open about this party to learn more about when it's going to happen and who's invited.
Well, we have two friends gifted in forgeries. We've made the documents before.
Do you really think it would be that hard to get in? Even we don't need to forge invitations. We'll just invite ourselves. We're the heroes of the city.
Well enough. Ooh, I've got a mask in the works already.
You're going to wear the luchador mask to a masquerade ball.
Fits the purpose. It's a mask.
Yes.
It's a masquerade.
Painted faces on parade.
It's in the name. I'm just gonna kind of pace around bewildered.
Either way, it seems like keeping an eye out for this masquerade is going to be another keen bit of us to do in our off time, I guess.
Yes, Icar, you made friends with the architect.
I had a very pleasant lunch with Lady Jarvis.
I think she's talking about the actual architect he gave you the information for.
I did get in touch with an architect who was interested in rebuilding the hideout here, for the upper floors.
Do you think anyone could we get a hold of the plans, just the blueprints of the opera house, to see if there are hidden passages or ways into basements easily accessible?
I think
plan out a route if we can get into this thing.
Would it be possible to do a sabotage action during the rebellion phase to send our team of saboteurs in to just like scout out what's going on in the opera house for construction?
This is like a Fight Club team. They're going in as like caterers for a dinner, and they're disappearing and sabotaging.
That would be a covert action. Sabotage is something else. But since the action has to be taken like a week beforehand, otherwise the information becomes outdated, I'm not going to let you guys do that until it's pretty much like preparation for the heist and then go type situation.
Guys, we got Ocean's 11 situation brewing here.
We don't have 11 people yet, do we?
With all of our allies, we got at least 9.
Well, there's the 5 of you. There's the 5 of you, including Kyra.
Kyra, Rexus, Laria, Octavio, Hedeman, Lady Doker. We just need
Vendolfek.
Vendolfek can't go to the party unless you want to count him as like the.
He's the prankster.
Is he the acrobat?
He's
the tiny little Asian guy.
He's the guy who had one job and didn't do it correctly. Guys, we got a heist.
Well, we got much more to do before the heist. We don't even know what this ball is. He might just be throwing the world's worst opera.
Yeah, but it's a chance to get in there and break into his basement, steal a bunch of treasure, and maybe find his dungeon. And wear masks. I've already got a mask coming.
That's true. I would need to get a mask. I do have a mask, but it's a mask of the soul. It lets me change my very identity.
It wouldn't be good for the party.
It would be funny to just go to the party as Tenebrae. They're like, "Who are you?" I am the knight.
Actually,
I would like to formally lobby my vote for you to do that, Icar.
Hold on. That's an interesting idea, because the entire point of the vigilante thing is that if you do things in your social identity, people have a chance to figure out your vigilantiness. Okay, you know what? If and when it gets to that point, I'm thinking of allowing you to do your vigilante stuff as a social thing without running the risk if it's a masquerade ball.
No, but he's a different, like, Tenebrae is a different mindset, a different character. Like, it would be doable, but he would not do well in that environment.
All right.
He wouldn't be schmoozing.
He's just the really awkward, like, one-liners and quips all night, slowly backing out of situations.
Oh yeah, so you enjoying this lovely dinner party? I know 11 ways to kill you with these hors d'oeuvres.
Exquisite.
Other than that, anybody else have anything else? No, not for now. I think I've said everything I need to. As have I.
As have I.
All right. Well, then the rest of us are going... I imagine that the rest of us are going to adjourn back to what we were doing and let you get on with, I suppose, planning. Perhaps Ava wants to talk to you some more. I don't know, but I have blueprinting to do.
The Varisian hair.
We'll see.
No, it's almost there, but not quite.
What about... Do they have beavers in Varisia?
Yes, they do.
Why not the Varisian beaver?
Because a beaver does not evoke
Grace.
erotic qualities.
Oh, Icar. And I'm going to leave it at that.
God damn
What
it.
is that supposed to mean?
God damn
Are you
sir.
aroused by beavers? Is that the werebore kicking in?
What? Sugtok doesn't. He's not aroused by beavers.
Oh, sweet lord.
Also, that would be awkward because I think
I'm walking hunched over here.
I think a beaver is one of the
Tib'resh
sacred
singing, so-
animals of Abadar.
Oh dear. Anyway, as you all leave the conference room, there's a tap on Flickie's shoulder.
Thank you. How was dinner?
It was really good.
Wait, sorry, 1 second. I didn't mute myself. A tap on my shoulder. What happens?
There's a tap on your shoulder as you're leaving the conference room.
I check it out.
You turn around and Mialari is still there.
Okay.
It's interesting to see you here, of all places, she says in Elven.
Say what? I'm so sorry.
It's interesting to see you here, of all places.
Mia Laria, 1 second.
Mialari Dokur.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, what makes you say that? I guess the circumstances are different.
A reminder, long red hair, piercings.
Oh, yeah. Okay. She's the Lady Dokur. My bad.
Yes.
I just had a brain fart.
I have to say, I was kind of shocked when I saw all of you in there.
Yeah. I mean, in what way? What's up?
Again, the last couple of times that we've spoken, you haven't exactly given off the aura of revolutionary leaders.
Well, I mean, do we have to give that off entirely, or can we just be ourselves with it?
No, I understand, but it's still surprising, especially since I'm a little terrified.
About what?
You.
What did I do?
I'm not sure. But you've grown very powerful in a very short amount of time.
Oh, well, I'm a wizard.
I have arcane abilities as well. You have almost eclipsed mine in a matter of months. That's not normal.
I don't know what to tell you. I guess practice makes perfect. I mean, think about how much stuff me and my friends here have been through.
You have had an exciting year so far, I grant you. But I also warn you, be careful. Make sure that you can control power when it grows this quickly. Especially the arcane power.
What do you mean? Like, what's? Are you trying to tell me something? What's happening right now?
Arcane power is what caused Earthfall. Arcane power is what let the Rune Lords rise in Varizia all of those millennia ago.
Oh, Rise of the Rune Lords.
Arcane power is very dangerous. And you need
So you're saying I could bring about a cataclysm if I'm not careful?
Yes, and what I've observed of you is that your mindset and behaviors are very cavalier towards the impressive powers that you now wield.
Well, I guess I never really thought about all the other people we meet who do magic don't really do magic like I do.
I am all for you using this in service of the city and its people. Just make sure it doesn't get away from you. Once a boulder starts rolling downhill, it's very hard to stop it.
Okay, well, I'm glad I have your support. I'll do my best.
I'll be around. And
Okay, cool.
She takes a couple steps away before it turns around and says, "It was good to see you again, though. Your mother would be proud of you." And then she walks away.
Ooh, tears well up in Flickie's eyes, and he goes back over to his homies.
That was ominous as fuck.
Yeah, could you guys hear that?
No,
Oh,
you have
okay.
to tell it to us.
Okay. So yeah, I talked to Lady Jokur, and she's telling me that if I'm not careful, my magic could be the start of this world's next great cataclysm.
Well, we have all had sort of a rather meteoric rise in abilities.
That's what I was saying, but I guess she's right. Because by all counts, I think I'm the strongest wizard we've even run into.
So you're not going to destroy the world as we know it?
I don't think so.
There's a lot of question marks in that, man.
Yeah, that was pretty ominous.
Okay.
Especially
Just-
coming from
just
someone
stay-
of repute.
Just stick close to us, and we'll try to keep you in line.
I'm sure with all of our combined talents, we can prevent you from going to the dark side, as it were.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine.
Or at least burning down Old Kintargo.
I mean, he was.
Oh my
lectured
god,
pretty
he
severely.
is summoned sin.
To be fair, I think that orphanage attacked him.
Yeah, honestly, it was giving me looks.
Yeah, it was the Final Fantasy VIII orphanage.
Just like a house attack.
All right. But with that, the Silver Council meeting number 1 comes to an end, and as does this session. I am calling it
There's
there.
only one thing to do after a meeting like that.
We gotta.
Buy
Yeah.
new suits.
That is
Yeah.
something. Icar's
That is
definitely
exactly
need an outfit that is a lot swankier. for the next
Gasoline,
season. But we got a lot.
You guys, wait, you
That's
guys want to get
interesting.
like super cool matching
No.
Silver Ravens
We got
uniforms?
a lot of shit to do.
I feel like that was a really good end of episode. Just oh no, you know, it feels very CW in a way, but also like Flickie at the very end of the episode is like, so you're the one who's gonna start the fucking end of the world. Dun dun dun.
Here's the-
Good night and Godspeed.
Good night, everybody.
Good session. yo.
See you next time.
Good sesh.
Good night.
Yes, good night.